Trace, you on the mic yet?
Yeah, man.
How you been, bud?
Oh, we good. We good. How you doing, brother?
Not bad, not bad. I sent out a few invites. We'll get some boys sometimes to crawl in here, though. Someone hit Usman, though. I wasn't able to hit him. If someone could do that, that'd be cool. What you think about Kane, Trace?
The only thing I regret, man, is that he missed.
Yeah, like, I feel the same. Don't get me wrong. I 100%.
Well, I just say that because I think they're going to fucking hang him out to dry either way. So I think at least then he would have got his so-called justice, I would say.
Yeah, so I guess I'm torn on what I think the outcome may be for him. So it's California. He shot somebody. We know California, super anti-gun and all that. They're also a place that kind of protects. I don't know if I'm going to use protects. I'm not trying to villainize California. I'm just saying, like, criminals get away with a lot more out there. So I do have some hope that he's not going to get, like, life or anything like that. But I don't feel like we can count on that, if I'm being honest. Man, it shot the wrong guy, for Christ's sake.
And let's be honest, man. When you a big Mexican that looks the way he looks, you guilty until proven innocent. I mean, they're gonna profile the shit out of him, bro.
Oh, and it's MMA fighter too. You know, it's big scary MMA fighter. So it's not even.
His entire life is violence.
Yeah, his entire life is be scary, violent, mean, and that's probably how they're going to try to paint him. And I don't think it's a hard angle. Mike Grundy retired via social medias. I'm out. Thank you all for the support, and a little bit more. And then he posted some screenshots. He said he thought he would fight again. It just didn't work out. I mean, he was getting up there in age. I think he was 44 years old. I could be wrong about that. I could be thinking of the wrong guy, but Mike was up there a little bit, so I'm not real surprised about that. Trace, did you see that you can now bet whether or not fighters will make weight?
No, but I know I'm gonna have me a fucking list.
Yeah. I haven't got a chance to really look at the odds. I would really like to know what the odds for something like that are going off at. I think I bookmarked something here. It probably won't let me share it because, I don't know. It never lets me share the post in here. Share via. Nope, just copy link. I'll throw it down here in a comment because I've got it opened up on the computer. I really wish it would let me just pin the tweets, man. Like, I know how to do it. Anyways, so using a tweet from MMA Mania, it looks like it's like plus 1,000 for no's, plus 1,200 for no's. So Catlin Souza was plus 1,000 for a no. Merrick Mann was plus 1,200 for a no. Gabriel Benitez was plus 800 for a no. And then they're minus 5,000. Murdoch Man was minus 20,000 for yes, makes weight. Minus 2,500. So they're really not trying to let you make any weight on it. It looks like if you bet everybody to make weight and one person missed, you might still lose money. Like there's no profit there, but still pretty cool. I'm curious to see. God, I can't think of a fighter offhand right now. How embarrassing, but I'm curious to see people. Aspen Ladd. I'm curious to see what the odds would have been on Aspen Ladd.
Yeah, I'm impressed because I've been over here like racking my brain. Like, I know there's a fucking gang of people that we know that are always missing weight, but I can't think of one off the top of my head.
Fucking Aspen Ladd. I mean, it's why she's in the PFL, in my opinion. So, yeah, whatever. It's cool. I like it. I think we see a day where we get to the day where we can literally bet just about any possible angle you can imagine. I know some places are doing touch the gloves. You can bet whether or not they touch gloves, shit like that. So, and some of that's starting to get into like, I'm not saying fighters would fix a fighter or do anything unethical, but bro, you're telling me they can bet on whether or not they touch gloves? Like, I don't know. It just seems like some of that shit is a little too much. If I was a fighter, I would tell my buddy to bet on that every single time. Like, I'd be like, listen, bro, go drop 20 grand because it doesn't matter what odds they're giving you. I'm not touching that guy's gloves. I don't know. Just seems like one of those things. I was clicked over to the space here. Amanda Rebaz had a stalker or has a stalker. Dude got into the PI posing as her husband.
You talking about Jacob from We Want Picks?
Is that who that is?
No, but he's definitely like in love with her and like he does all kinds of crazy shit for her. But he actually has her on. They've had her on their show a couple times. Pretty funny though. Just a funny jab.
Yeah, that's good. I don't know if he ever listens, but I hope he hears it and laughs. Maybe I'll try to clip it later and tag him or something. Dude got into the PI posing as her husband. Manager and security figured it out. Got rid of the dude, but what a fucking creep. I guess he's an MMA fighter. I didn't hear I seen it on the best of MMA. That's not so a lot of this I try to get a lot of our headlines and topics right off of Twitter through bookmarks and stuff, and I would like to share more of them, but it doesn't let me post them on the big screen. So like I just put them in the comments. I don't know. It's discouraging to me as far as sharing them. But I try to be on Twitter to make our content. I just feel like it's appropriate. That is one I seen at Best of MMA, though. Content's about split today. Mike Grundy, you can check his Twitter for that announcement. I posted MMA Manias. Mark Hunt is at it again. This fucking guy. So now he says on May 8th, that the truth will be revealed, that everybody will see Dana White for who he is or what he is, or who fucking knows, man. If I've got it understood correctly, Mark is appealing or asking the judge to release all of the documents from his trial against Dana White, Zuffa, and whoever else his trial was against. So, hey, Dead Picks, or if you're able, if you could throw those comments up on the Titan, that would be cool. So if I got it straight, though, he says May 8th, it's all going down. But from everything I found, the judge still has to review this and sign off on it. It's not, he's like asking permission. And that day would run up on May 8th when the judge has to respond by. So we'll see if he finally can paint Dana White into the, he's been at it for a while, Trace. He's been at it for a while. You like Mark Hunt?
Do I like Mark Hunt?
Yeah.
I enjoyed him in the UFC when he fought. Yeah, I didn't not like him.
You follow him on socials at all or anything like that?
No, but I don't really follow any fighter on my socials, to be honest.
I gotcha. I don't follow Mark either. He pops up in headlines a lot because of his stuff with all the lawsuits and everything. And I follow like Colin Rudd.
Yeah, I mostly just follow outlets and like you guys and a few other like cappers that I respect and just stuff like that. But I don't really follow like celebrity in any way on socials. To be honest.
Gotcha. NSAC. All right. Okay. Real quick. Dana White says John Jones was not arrested, despite the news reports that he was, for threatening to kill a DFSI worker. Dana says he was never arrested. That didn't actually happen. It didn't seem like he was actually arrested. He was posting stuff right away. He was posting surveillance footage of him walking them out and shaking their hands. I guess I felt like I just knew that was bullshit right away. So whatever. That came off today's Best of MMA. Did like a 20-minute episode today. I love that place. I get a lot of topics from them, and then I try to go dig them myself. There's 100 outlets. They're not the biggest. I just think they do a really good job of covering things that are relevant and whatever. So they're probably my go-to video place. So just shout them out. I don't know them. We're not affiliated with them, but shout them out. Twitter, them, and a couple of and the news pages. I do follow a lot of the news pages. They're just probably my go-to video place. While I'm reading and doing headlines, I play them in the background while I'm building the show, to be 100% honest. NSAC took issue with, all right. Okay, so Diego Lopez jumped over the cage, and NSAC is holding his money until they have a meeting to decide how much to fine him. Am I crazy for thinking that it should just be a standard fine?
It's they've already announced it's $5K.
Okay, so it got announced. So $5K to him. And then they'll release his purse. Why? I guess I just don't understand how it is, why the purses need to be held, why there needs to be a hearing about it, why it needs to be $5 for Christ's sake. That's asshole ridiculous. It should be something more reasonable than that. I guess guys who are making $500,000 just wouldn't give a fuck, if it was only $5,000 or something, I guess. But I just feel like it should be a flat fine. I don't feel like a crime is more punishable because of how much money you make. If they want to make it a percentage, just tell us what that percentage is, so the fighters understand if you jump on the cage, you lose this percentage of your purse. But if you don't, I don't know. I have a problem with NSAC or anybody else holding trial to decide how much of someone's purse to keep for jumping on a fucking cage. I think it's ridiculous. They're holding 20% of Armin's purse, which was a big ass purse for the 300 incident. I can understand that, kinda. It's not something you're just going to have a standard fine for. And then they were holding. Oh, they held trial for Eager. Whatever Eager's name is. I forget his last name. The dude who bit the other guy. Their NSAC recommended 6 months, and then one of the officials objected, so they've got to retry on it or rehear on it. Eddie Law, I see you on the mic, bud. Nice to see you, bro.
What up? Hey, I had a question about for you on that one, on the Lopez for the $5,000.
Yeah.
I didn't look into it, and one of my reporters is working on that story, but just trying to figure out some details. But do you know if they kept the $5,000 because that's the amount in the fine, or is that just like they just said, "Fuck it, it's $5,000, we're gonna keep it"?
No, so that's what they decided to fine him. So like they held his whole purse, is my understanding. Dude didn't get paid until they had their fucking meeting to decide how much the fine was going to be.
He's Pat Lomball working in the back or some shit, and she's like, fuck it, throw out random numbers. I screwed Nick Diaz out of 5 years. I'll screw this guy out of some money too. The fuck
Yeah, like open the dartboard. Open me the dartboard. I'm gonna throw one to see where this shit lands. I just feel like it should be a flat fee, bro. Like a traffic ticket is a flat fee.
No, not only that, like if you watch the fight, he went up to Dana asking for permission, and Dana has been quoted by many other people saying, "I'll pay your fine, go for it." So it's like, why are we even bothering Lopez about it?
I agree.
Why is it even an issue, man? Like it's such a like these guys are getting in there and fucking beating the shit out of each other. We care about them jumping over a fucking cage. Like it doesn't even make sense.
The Armin thing I get, but here's what I will say. Armin said right away that the guy was provoking him. And then the dude that had the altercation apologized. He actually said he was sorry, that he shouldn't have disrespected Armin like that. and that he would not ever sue Armin or the UFC or attempt to because of the way he behaved. So like, all right, 20% is a lot of dough in that case. They said it's looking like they're going to keep, I think they said 16 grand, which isn't a full 20% on him. I don't know, man. I feel like that's clearly, these guys are fighters. They're charged. I know NSAC's got to make an example, but bro, I don't know. I guess I'm anti fucking law, taking money ass, whatever it is, that much. I got one that I actually marked from Cage Side Press. Shout them out. We don't know
Say
him.
you're Dan Hardy, bro. You're an outlaw.
Did you guys hear Jimmy Smith go fucking ham about Ronda Rousey?
Bro,
Boy,
dude,
did I.
right, that was the good look. Yeah, I don't know if you guys ever talked to Jimmy Smith. I got to speak to Jimmy Smith twice. Nicest dude on the planet. When he says he never does that, I promise you, he never does that. The fact that he did to Ronda Rousey, like to me, it sounded so personal, man. Like maybe she was like like a bitch to him too. But fuck, that was wild stuff.
Like
Dude.
I commented on his stuff though, but like if you watched the season of Tough that she coached, dude, it's like crystal clear what kind of person she is. She's not a nice person. Like she's definitely a bully, and she carries herself that way. I went into that season a fan of Ronda Rousey and Misha Tate. At the end of that season, I couldn't stand Ronda Rousey anymore. Like she's just a very angry person.
Yeah, I didn't like Ronda for a while. I can't look back now and remember the moment. I know it was a moment with during like a weigh-in, one of the weigh-ins or something. She was just really shitty to the other fighter, and I'm like, what the fuck? And it's what Jimmy said. I actually can remember Ronda being like, go back and watch her weigh-ins and shit. Go back and watch anywhere where she is like interfered with. And she is not ever one of those people who is polite to the worker. Like, I love the fighters who are like nice to all the workers, and like they know, like, you're awesome, man. You're the fucking weigh-in guy. You make my shit happen, bro. You're just here to do this. And like, they just appreciate people for who they are. Ronda Rousey was never that person. And I agree with what Eddie said 100%. It seemed like he practiced that shit. It seemed like he was like, let me write this down and let me read this 2 or 3 times before I go on there and say it, because I'm about to roast the shit out of her.
Bro, I can imagine Jimmy like did it the first time. It's like, nah, that didn't hit exactly what I wanted. Let me put some more stank on it. And then he threw down exactly what he wanted and posted that shit. Man, I laughed so hard, man, because Jimmy's the nicest guy. For him to come out like that, it's like, damn, boy, that's nuts.
And then when he said, I heard they were all cheering, I was like, yeah. When he said, I heard all the people that worked for the UFC were cheering when you got knocked out, I was fucking dying, because at that moment, I just knew with all of my heart, this man is not lying. He is not lying. You do not come with that type of shit. Just nobody lies that good. Nobody lies that well. Everybody, that shit is personal. He was text messaging with people or something like, did you see it? Hell yeah, I was cage side. I recorded it. He was texting with people or something.
Bro, have you watched like any of her recent interviews about her just shitting on her WWE experience too?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude, I'm telling you, it's exactly what Eddie said. She doesn't enjoy life, bro. Like she's got some personal issues going on that she just hasn't overcome. It's very evident, man. Like she doesn't like anybody. She's just she thinks the world revolves around her. You know what I mean? It's crazy.
For about 2 years, it did, man. It's hard to let that shit go.
She is very, very naive to reality, in my opinion. I don't really have much of a better way to say it.
Let me tell you something, guys. One of my favorite shows of all time is Entourage. If you've never seen it, fantastic show on HBO.
Yeah,
I will never be able to watch that
I've
show
watched it a
again.
few episodes. It's about the dude. It's about Artie, right?
He's the agent, but yeah, he's one of the main characters.
Yep.
But it's loosely based on Mark Wahlberg's life, loosely. So, but in the movie, Ronda Rousey's in the movie. So I usually watch that show once a year. I rewatch the entire series. It's such a good series, and I will never be able to not watch that show with Ron and not see Ronda Rousey now because she is in the movie. So yeah, can't get away from her.
That fucking sucks. I truly do not like her. I would tell her in a space, like, I fucking celebrated when Holly beat you. I think you are a shitty person. So, whatever. Is what it is. Doesn't make me right, make her wrong. I'm just some chump on a fucking space. But, whatever. That's my fucking feelings, and I can have them. UFC Connected did a piece on Sean Woodson. If you guys didn't see it, go on YouTube, watch it. It's crazy. It starts out, Sean Woodson's like, I grew up in a good home. I had a mother and a father. They loved me. His mom comes in. She was like, boxing was just part of our life. So when Sean said he wanted to box, it wasn't even a question. Sean's like, my mom did everything she could to get me ahead, to get me to boxing class, to everything she could. And like, they're painting this picture, and then they're like, Sean's dad died, and you're like, oh, that's sad. This is what this is gonna be about. Then he's like, I made my UFC debut and I got my knockout, and you're like, okay, here we go. And then they cut to a scene. He's like, then I came home and the FBI was there arresting my mom. And she was like, and then it cuts to his mom, and she's like, I was a city clerk. My name was on every account. And then it cuts to Sean Woodson, and he's like, she had a gambling problem. She was convicted for embezzling $500,000. Bro, even with me telling you that, all of it, because I've watched it twice, you will go back and be like, that's fucked up. They're trying to paint this up for you. And then they just tell you, like, she got embezzled for $500,000. They're basically letting you know that Sean is broke because he used all of his money to help his mom. She did 18 months. He paid for her lawyers. I'm pretty sure he had to pay some restitution on her behalf, and says that's why he was distracted and caught that L. Crazy story, man. Just, you guys should go watch it. No, I don't think you guys have, so I just ruined it for you, but still watch it. It's still good. It's like a good movie. You know the end. It's still a good movie. Jamal Hill is now blaming Herm Dean. He was talking to the Schmo and basically said that it's a ref's job to create space and command the fight. And I don't know. He indirectly blamed Herb Dean for the loss, even though, like, last week he said he stood by Herb's decision or some shit. I feel like Jamal Hill and Ronda Rousey could start a club because neither one of them have ever done anything wrong in any situation. I liked Jamal for a long time, but I follow his YouTube channel, and even the things he screws up on, I just don't feel like he takes accountability. I feel like he's one of them guys that everything that happens is circumstance of someone else's fault. And I just feel like here we go again. It's driving me away from him as a fan. I'm not bashing him or anything. I'm just being honest about how I feel. I picked AP. It wasn't because I hate Jamal or anything, but I'm getting to the point where, like, I don't know, starting to feel the turn. Trace, Andrew, either of you got any feelings about Jamal in that particular situation, blaming Herb Dean?
I haven't watched the interview personally, so it's hard for me to have a comment on because I don't know, word for word like what he said. But I feel like the way I portrayed it from like headlines wasn't him so much saying that was why he lost, more so just like saying that it threw him off. So like I don't think he was necessarily saying it like, yeah, this is the reason I lost. Herb Dean's the reason why I lost. I think he was just explaining his point of view. You know what I mean? Because anytime a fighter loses, like they're gonna come up with some kind of excuse, unless they just say, "Yeah, he was the better man. I didn't do X, Y, Z. He did." You know what I mean? And he's coming off of a championship loss. I think he does have a little bit of an ego, like most fighters do, maybe bigger than most, to the point where, yeah, maybe he can't 100% be like, "Yeah, I came in unprepared," or "I didn't do this or this," or "I didn't expect this from him." You know what I mean? I feel like he's just kind of having a little bit of a hard time fully accepting it.
As much as I'd like to say, it probably doesn't, or it wouldn't. It's a bad thing for him to not be able to accept it. It probably hinders his growth as a fighter. We've seen Sean O'Malley basically say he didn't, like, pretend like he never lost to Cheeto Vera, and then come out there and beat the dog shit out of him in this last fight. So maybe it works. Maybe that's the new way to bounce back from your losses, is to pretend like they never fucking happened, or they're somebody else's fault, because it worked out for Sean. So why not?
Well, the thing with Sean is, I mean, he's not stupid. Like, he understands the L is on his record and it's not going anywhere. But because of the confidence that he has, that any fighter would, they're going to sit there and go, "Okay, well, clearly if we fight again, like, I'm whooping his ass." And, you know, it's media, so he's got to sell it a little bit. That's why he says that shit. Does he feel like he's undefeated? Yeah, because he felt like it was a fluke win, to which it was. But it was still a win. And he understands that. But yeah, he just tries to sidetrack it and sell it for the fans a little bit, I think.
Boys, the Diaz brothers are undefeated in their careers, guys. All right, it can definitely be done. Now, and I'm saying that as a Diaz fan. I'm a big time Diaz fan. But on the Jamal Hill point, real quick, I don't think, like, okay, I know he kept saying, you know, while he was out injured and recovering and all that, that he wanted to come back, you know, and get his title back and get a title fight, right? Off that kind of injury, I thought that was a dumb idea. But when the fight got booked, I was like, oh, Jamal Hill's getting his money fight, because I think he knew there was a good chance that something like that was gonna happen. At least he was probably gonna lose, right? I mean, if you look into all the antics leading up to the actual fight night, the stuff that, I mean, getting AP to sign his hoodie, then all the antics leading up. I'm talking about the presser, the weigh-ins, all that kind of stuff, right? It's all pumping yourself up, trying to make yourself believe you can actually win and all that. It just seemed like he was trying so hard to do it. And so I think he knew there was a good chance that I was going to end up that way, but he couldn't turn down the pay-per-view money of a UFC 300 main event. And so I was all about it. I understood. I'm like, hey, man, get your money, right? So now I think, you know, with more time to recover, even more improve, maybe strengthen, you know, the injury, wherever the injury happened in his foot or his leg, I think he's going to look better in this fight with Khalil. It's just a motherfucker of an opponent to get. You know what I mean? Like, especially on not short notice, but on relatively quick turnaround.
Oh, and Khalil is locked in like a fucking great white right now. Like,
bro, Khalil. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Khalil to me is the UFC's John Wick.
Yeah, right now. I've been on him for a little while. I've liked Khalil for a long time. I've just liked him. So when he started getting hot, when he was losing, I was sad, to be honest. So when he started getting hot, I jumped on the train right away. I'm like, oh yeah, fucking Khalil Roundtree. Who was it he knocked out? When he beat the shit out of old boy and was kicking him in the body against the cage on the ground, I'm like, yes, fucking Khalil Roundtree. Here we go.
Is that the tough one you're talking about?
No, it was a couple fights ago. He beat somebody down.
Either Carl Roberson or Atomic Metaphors.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, bro, he beat him so bad they dropped, and he fucking kicked them in the body while they were on the ground. Like, it was just super apex aggressive. Like, I loved it. I thought he looked better. I literally thought he looked better than he ever had in his whole career. So, like,
yeah, he did that shit in Tough too. He did that same shit. He like dropped the guy, and then he got mad because he tried taking him down, and it was full blown soccer kicks, and you could hear it. You could hear it.
I remember
TV.
it. I remember hearing him, bro.
Oh my god, bro.
Well, then he kind of fell off. So you're like, oh, maybe he's not what I thought. You're not.
Well, he had problems with motivation and finding his searching his purpose in life. Then he went to Thailand and fell in love with the kickboxing, and that's where he found his drive. And then he decided that he really could do this. He put all his effort into it, and that's where you seen that change in him. He went to Thailand and became a different man, bro. He's like,
what do people always say about sports? It's 90% mental and 10% physical. That's what people are talking about. When you change your mental, the way that Khalil did, that's the difference. You know what I mean? You see someone at their highest and someone at their lowest, and that's exactly what a strong mental and confidence will do to a fighter or just an
yeah,
athlete in general.
I've rode for him since the Ultimate Fighter, man. Like, even watched his brother fight to get on the Contender Series. I was rooting for his little brother because he ended up losing the fight. I forget who he fought, but yeah, his actually his older brother, but he's at a smaller weight division. But yeah, man, I've followed him on Instagram and followed his story over there in Thailand. So yeah, I'm definitely a Roundtree fan. I'm definitely pulling for him to win this fight. He's definitely the more explosive of the two. The more probably the more well rounded as far as a striker. The leg game and the kicks and the elbows and all that stuff. The knees. Yeah, Jamal. I think Jamal should still be able to win this fight, but he's gonna have his hands full, man. It's gonna be a. I'm probably not gonna bet that fight. I'm probably gonna just sit back and enjoy that one from a fucking fan's perspective because that's gonna be a banger.
Do you know the line on it by chance?
I'm betting Khalil Roundtree. I'm betting Khalil Roundtree, and I think he may change the way people view Jamal Hill. Sincerely, may change the way people view Jamal Hill. I think he's gonna put it on him. Just my opinion, man. Whatever. I'm a big fan, and I know it. So whatever. I don't see the line over on our site, so it's not reporting across a bunch of books yet. If anybody's on Bet Online, I'm sure they've already got fucking lines on it. Yeah, I don't see it here. All right. So Vanille Dariush is receiving the 2024 Forrest Griffin Community Award. We ain't really got to discuss it. Just shout out Vanille. I'm going to clip this and get it over on Rumble this week. I'm going to clip this segment off and get it over there. And I'm going to get it over on Facebook video. I'm kind of caught up on the site, so I'm able to focus on production a little more. And just shout out to him. I know he's taken his bonus money and built, I think, shelters in Haiti with his fight bonuses, like fight in the night bonuses and shit. Like, he's genuinely like a good person if you've ever seen any interviews with him. Yeah, so just shout out to him. Karen,
he ever get that Tesla that he like called you out on like pay-per-view about?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good fucking question, though, to be honest, because I forgot about that. Fucking shark memory there. I'm sure he did, because Elon's a big UFC fan, so I'm sure he did.
I think I heard they said like he sent him an upgraded version of the one that he ordered. Actually, I feel like I did hear something about that.
Actually, I'm pretty confident that you're right, because I was thinking that, and I didn't want to say it and be wrong, that they reported that he got it and Elon Musk personalized him getting it some way, but I just didn't want to be a fool. So I think you're right, to be honest. What's the other one?
I see a few new people in the chat, man. This is an open forum, guys. If you want to grab a mic and talk, feel free to throw up an invite. We'll get you on the speakers, man. It's open mic in here, guys. You're welcome to talk anytime you want.
If a bunch of guys get going, just use hands. If it's, when it's casual, it's casual. Karen almost fucked around and found out with my Macy Barber and her friend. Side of the road. I don't know what the whole altercation was. It might have been a parking lot. But Karen told her, "I'll bust your face. I'll beat both of your asses." I was like, man, I thought, because I didn't know the premise that when I seen it, I feel like when it was fresh. So I thought Macy maybe was going to tune her up or something. I was watching like, oh, she's about to find out. Here we go. I'll be honest. I was kind of sad Macy didn't give it to her. But it was hysterical. You can hear Macy and her friend fucking cracking up. She's like, her friend's like, "Oh, you will. You will." And I'm just, it was fucking great.
Bro, I was hoping. I thought she was gonna turn into a Diaz brother real quick, to start smacking the shit out that chick. I was like, man, Jesus is on your side, Karen. That is crazy.
Yeah, I was expecting her to drop the gilly, like jump the gilly. Like, we're about to see her jump the gilly. What's about to happen? She's about to fuck Karen up. What's going on? I'm giggling and shit because that's the type of stuff that cracks me up. The irony of life is the most hysterical shit there ever is to me. And, you know, that's fucking tough Karen running around with all the moms at school telling them she'll beat all their fucking asses. Side of the road, not knowing God is gifting her with not getting beat to the fucking ground. All right, so I think I've only got one left, and that'll be all of our topics for tonight. And then we'll roll into the card and then fight announcements after that. So BKFC, I don't know if anybody watched it. I didn't. I caught up the next day. I had shit to do. I did catch the UFC fights, but you know, I didn't. I had family shit, man. So whatever it is, what it is. But Conor McGregor announced that he is now part owner of BKFC. The potential for Conor to create. My comments are that the potential for Conor to create a freeway-like environment for fighters to go from the UFC to BKFC and even back has a lot of potential, especially with the UFC trying to show that they are a trustable company. We'll just put it at that way, that they have good business practices and that they let fighters make money. A great way to keep fighters in MMA contracts is going to be to let your guys that aren't huge stars go box and go bare knuckle FC. Let them go do that. They've already let a bunch of guys go over to BKFC. So I also think that there's a potential to see Dana White in some time to come invest in BKFC. I think maybe the only reason we haven't seen that is because it could be a conflict of interest as far as monopoly things go. But I mean, he owns if it's adrenaline junkie shit, Dana White owns it. I don't know if you guys know that. He owns everything from ridiculousness to Nitro Circus to Power Slap to part of the UFC. He owns all of that shit. Everything that you know to be affiliated with all of that, except for Jackass, he owns it all. Dead Pigs.
Wait, you're for real? He owns Nitro
Fuck
Circus
yeah.
and
Him and Travis
Ridiculousness?
Pastrana are 50-50. 50-50.
Who owns it?
Dana White and Travis Pastrana.
Wow.
That's like that funny ass thing about, you remember when Sean Strickland got kicked out of the Power Slap event by the company who runs it, and that company is owned by this company that is owned by that company that is owned by Nitro Circus that is owned by Dana White. So Dana White's company threw Sean Strickland out of that Power Slap event for being a dick to Machine Gun Kelly, and no one ever even fucking noticed it because they were like, oh, the guy who, it's that company threw him out. That's Dana's company. Go track it back. I did it. I'm like, who are they? All right, who owns them? All right, who owns them? Oh, Nitro Circus. It's literally like a parent company, Dana White. Like,
That girl Nina had a video with Sean, right? And then they canceled it or something like that.
yeah, I don't know exactly about that, but I know he was a dick to Machine Gun Kelly, and he was actually told that he can't go back to those events and shit. So anyways, I don't want to detour too much. It's just, if it couldn't be seen as a conflict of interest as far as monopoly goes, I think Dana would have already invested in it. Maybe even bought a large share of it. So I have been pro BKFC is the best exit for MMA fighters since BKFC 2 or 3. I seen it right away. I'm not taking credit. I'm sure other people did too, but I spotted it right away. Right now, Brian Barberena just announced his UFC exit. He's asking to fight Mike Perry in BKFC. He's going to make a bag. He's a big star over there. He's going to get $500,000, 600 grand. He's going to make a big bag. Mike Perry's going to beat him up, but then he's going to get a couple $100 grand to have a couple of fucking fist fights before he retires. It is literally a way for guys to make $1 million post career in 2 years. Go fight 3-4 of them fights if you've got name power and you weren't getting the millions of dollars over in the UFC. It's a great avenue. The big question after the announcement seemed to be, how do you think Dana feels? How do you think Dana feels? Like the media that was at the BKFC press conference, like the post fight, seemed like they wanted it to be instigated something. And Feldman basically was like, I don't think he sees us as a threat. He has a great thing going on over there, and he does. I don't think it's a threat to each other. Feldman did he did say yeah at the end, and everybody cheered. But I don't think BKFC can damage MMA. I think it can damage boxing. And I just want you guys to all know that one day, Paige Van Zandt and Mike Perry will be pioneers. How you guys feel about that?
I got a question. Who do you think Mike Perry's gonna fight next? Actually, you said Barbarena, which I can see is gonna be a great fight, and you did call that, Joe. I'll give you credit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy to call. A lot of them are going to go do that, though. I feel like if you're looking to see it, you can see where a lot of them. Mike Chandler loses to Conor McGregor. If he fights his UFC contract out, he probably makes $1.5 million, maybe $2 million to fight somebody of relevance over in BKFC, because he's going to draw. He's gonna. Even Mike Chandler. Conor McGregor's what, 2 fights? Eddie, do you know? You're a guy who follows that shit. It's 1 or 2 fights. Do you know how far out Conor is to be out of his contract?
I'm pretty sure it's 2. Pretty sure.
It's
I have to look into
Chandler,
it,
and then they've got him on the hook for 1 after that, right?
right, and the thought is that they're going to try and lure Nate back to the UFC to complete the trilogy for that last one, and then they're still going to try and re-sign Conor. But with the whole what just happened recently, where they with the non-compete stuff being thrown out and all that, and the government and everything, like it's going to be really hard to re-sign him. But yeah, I think that's the idea. It's Chandler and then hopefully Diaz, but I don't know. I have a hard time believing they'll actually get that done.
Yeah, I didn't bring that one up in here, but I did see all of that. I have all that bookmarked. I've been reading it and watching it. The government throwing out all the non-compete clauses and shit for independent contractors for everybody that didn't see it. Yeah, I still don't think it's a problem. I don't think Conor fights MMA anywhere except for the UFC. He will make a killing when he boxes. I told you guys, Andrew can vouch. Since Andrew met me, he has been coming in these spaces since a couple months old, and I have said that their trilogy will be in boxing for as long as we've been doing these spaces. If Conor could get it in BKFC, bro, they sell a fuck ton of pay-per-views. If Conor could fight out his UFC contract and fight Nate Diaz in BKFC, Conor makes a bag, Nate makes a bag, David Feldman makes a bag. That's the biggest fucking thing that could happen to BKFC in lure of a fight that would do well in the UFC. But let's be honest, if we don't see Conor versus Nate 3 in the UFC, hands up for who's upset about that. Hands up if you're upset if we don't see Conor versus Nate 3.
Connor J always got his hand up. You see it?
Joe, that's cap, bro. You've never once said that they're gonna have the trilogy in boxing. You've never
You're
said
such a
that.
dick.
You're so full of shit, bro.
You're such a dick. That's what I have to say about that. You're such a fucking dick. Yeah, I don't know. I really like BKFC. I like the organization. Dave Feldman has a little bit of a shtick to him. I was able to pick up on it right away and try to tell people. I mean, he really does want them to go to the center of the cage. He really does, or ring. He really does get mad when they won't toe the line. He really does get angry about it. But that man really is trying to pay them everything he can. He and he it is a little bit of a shtick. Like when he's being over the top, you know, and you're like, man, what a dick of a promoter. It's a little bit of a shtick. I don't know. I really like them over there. So I think Conor's very good for them. And I'm actually going to go back and find the space that we did right after Conor appeared at that BKFC event last April. Because I think in that space I said I would bet that Conor McGregor buys part of the BKFC. He was at that event going, I love it. I am this. Oh, and he's taking deep breaths and shit, doing whatever. I think Conor's comical. That's all of my headlines. That's all I've got. Yeah, that's it. So I went over, but we don't have to come back to them later. I think that's a little bit better of a format, so I can clip them off later. It makes it a little easier. We're going to roll into the card. UFC 301. Trace is the guy that does most of the actual hardcore tape study around here. He's also the guy that probably doesn't like when people say it, but if you want to tail somebody in this space on bets, Trace actually kills it. He bets in volume, which I know to a lot of people, you're like, oh man, I don't know if I could tail that, but this man has been fucking murdering it for about a year. He does it very humbly, and he does it very humbly. That's it. So I know we've been getting some pretty good views on YouTube. We're going to be over on Rumble for this now and Facebook, and the spaces have been hitting 100 to 300 listens a week. So I know some people are tuning in, so I just wanted to shout Trace out. We'll go ahead and get into the card. It's UFC 301. Andrew, you ready to kick this thing off?
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Pantoja versus Erceg. Opening prelims. Let's go.
Let's do it, man. For the fight to open the card is Alessandro Costa and Kevin Borjas. Borjas will have a 1-inch height advantage as well as a 1-inch reach advantage. They do both fight orthodox. They are both coming off of losses, so somebody's got to win, right? The average odds across over 30 books, capmma.com. Costa is a minus 135 favorite by average, and Borjas is plus 110. Trace, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm all over Alessandro Costa on this one. This is like a kind of like a buy low fight for him. Like this is definitely his biggest step back in competition since he's gotten to the UFC. He's had a pretty tough run as far as competition, and he's even in the losses, he's looked good in the fights. So yeah, I feel like this is kind of like a get right fight for him, kind of get him a little momentum going. But one thing we know about the Peruvian fighters is that they always fight tough. They're always going to give you a hard fight for as long as the fight lasts. So yeah, I think Costa wins this fight, but I think it's most likely a decision. So yeah, give me Costa decision, but probably a good solid over. I don't know where Usman's at. I'm sure he'll be here in a little bit, but I'm sure he'll agree with me on this fight that this is probably a solid over fight for the over strat. So yeah, give me the over, goes to decision, and Costa by decision.
Man, I think I'm going to take that advice. I'm not going to drag this fight out. We got no hands up. I hope there's 2 or 3 of them this way because there is a couple of them I really want to talk about. So I say tail trace on the over 100%. Andrew, what's next?
Next, we are going to the lightweight division. We have Ismael Bonfim taking on 42-year-old Vinc Pichel. Man, Pichel will be 2 inches taller. He will also have a 1-inch reach advantage. They do both fight orthodox, and again, they are both coming off of losses. So somebody's got to win. Bonfim is a huge favorite right now. Average is minus 556. Pichel is plus 379. Man, you better hope someone bets on the outcome of this fight because you'd be insane to take that money line. Trace, you got anything on this one?
Yeah, man. Vince Pichel historically been. Honestly, he's been good in the UFC. He's durable, tough. Was always a solid fighter, decision fighter. Not a whole lot of finishing upside, especially in his older age. Uh, yeah, this feels like just another feeder fight for Bonfim. Get him some more momentum. Get him going again against a guy that's going to give him a tough fight, but kind of he's going to fade off as the fight goes. So I don't think Bonfim gets him out of there. So, like I said, Vince Pichel's historically pretty durable. So I do think this fight probably goes to a decision. So give me Bonfim by decision. But like I said, another fight where I like the overs as well. Yeah, so overs, Bonfim by decision.
So for me, I follow Trace, tail Trace. He is a guy who takes betting very seriously, but I am betting on Vince Pichel. And I'm not just taking him because I can get him at like minus 3.7 or plus 379. That's the global on him. I'm not taking him just because of that. I'm taking him because he's very durable. He's very strong. He is capable of getting a knockout. He is capable of getting a submission. If you get sloppy and he can catch you, Vince can drop you. I'm not saying he's like a KO artist, and I know we haven't seen it lately, but he could drop somebody, maybe get a TKO. Super duper durable in any situation. I say bet the over. I say bet fight goes to the distance, and I will be looking for Vince Pichel to break the spirit of Bonfim and beat him by decision. Probably like 20, 29, 27 type shit. Like, I don't think it'll be a UD. I think Bonfim maybe pulls one off. And when it doesn't go his way, Vince takes it from there and just kind of coasts to a victory. Just my thought. I feel pretty good about that one, though.
Joe, I really like that take, and I would totally agree with you if this were like 4 years ago. Because we have seen that Bonfim can break if he doesn't just walk you down and finish you. He's shown that he can break. But my problem is I cannot bet on somebody who is 42 years old. I can't do it. And I know everyone's going to bring up fucking Glover. That's all they're going to do is bring up the one fucking example. Yes, there is an exception to every rule. But betting on 42-year-olds, that's insane to me, man.
It's not profitable.
What was that?
Betting
He said
on
you're saying
older fighters not profitable.
no, it's not. It's not profitable, and he's right for that. And I do understand what you're saying about if it was a couple years ago, you would feel better about it. Yeah, I'm actually not telling anybody to run out and bet Vince, but I am. So I had the counter argument here, and it's sincere, so I made it. I don't see any hands up. Andrew, what's next? Oh, wait, Zabets, get it.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you sound good now. You were fucked up a minute ago. You sound fine now.
Oh, shit, my fault. Yeah, I was driving, my fault. But yeah, I kind of disagree with your take, Joe. I'm gonna have to go with the Bonfim. I think this is the younger one, and I think he knocks him out or submits him in the round 1 or 2.
I would assume. I don't know how old they are, but he's 29. So, I'm not mad, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm not telling anybody to go bet Vince. Like, I get it. He's a real dog, a real dog. Like, this ain't even, and I'm not even giving him like, man, who's my guy? I keep wanting to say Erceg because of the last name. God damn it, the damage. Darren Elkins, like I'm not saying I see him as Darren Elkins where I know I can spot, oh, he's gonna break that motherfucker. Like, you can see when Darren's gonna break somebody. I'm just thinking Vince can do it, man. I'm thinking he can edge out maybe the second and the third round. I think at what I'll get him for, he's plus 379. I'll probably find him at plus 500 for by decision, plus 600 for by decision. So I'm taking a stab at it. I'm not gonna lie. Andrew, what you got next, bro?
Next, we're going to the flyweight division. We have two ladies both making their UFC debut. Please forgive me. I actually may botch these names. I'm going to go with Dione Barbosa. It might even be Dione.
Dione Barbosa.
Perfect. It's Dione. Perfect. And then the other one is Ernesta Kareckaite, something like that. I apologize. Barbosa is 5'6", Ernesta's 5'9". A big reach advantage, 5-inch reach advantage for Ernesta. They do both fight orthodox as well. If we go to the odds, Barbosa is a pretty big favorite. She is minus 222 right now, and Ernesta is plus 175. Trace, what you got, bro?
Yeah, man, this is I like Dione Barroso in this fight. I think she's definitely the side. The other girl is coming out of the fight off the contender series with a local girl to where I'm from, in Carly Judice. Carly Judice is nice on the feet, has good stand up, but I'm still not 100% sure that she is a UFC caliber fighter. While she is in the UFC, she did get the contract as well. We'll see about that fight. We'll see about her as well. But they fought to a split decision. So yeah, I think that I think Dione should be able to get her down and submit her, or not submit her, but get her down and control her, and probably win a decision. I don't think this fight gets finished. It's probably going to be a 3-round, probably just a grappling fight. It's either going to be standing with the girl getting the better of the striking, or Dione with the grappling. So you tend to go with the grappler in that situation. So give me Dione.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the right side to be on. I'm very high on Dione. I have a rule right now, and I am riding this motherfucker out. And I'm telling you, it's money. 2 Silvas and a Barbosa. You can ride them all the way to the top. Karine Silva, Natalia Silva, Dione Barbosa. Until these women are in the top 5, they are fucking Pele.
Just to bring up Karina Silva, Dione Barbosa does have a win over Karina Silva outside of the UFC.
I know that. These I like women's MMA, bro. I pay attention. I do watch Invicta and shit. Like, I'm not hardcore about it, but I watch it. I pay attention. They're in my feed. I see their shit. Yeah, like I like women's fighting. I know who Dione Barbosa is. I actually get notifications when she tweets. I don't get that for very many fighters. There's probably less than, I don't even know. It's like 2 or 3 or 4. Like, it might not even be that many. I can't even think of another one right now who I get notifications for. Oh, Tatiana Suarez. I get notifications when she tweets. Dione Barbosa, I get notifications when she tweets. I'm sure there's a couple more. There's 2 or 3 more. But like just straight fan shit, like just straight up fan shit. Dione Barbosa is fucking legit. I do see the submission here. Just because I know that she's been working her grappling a lot. I know that submission is kind of her game right now, and that's what she's working for. So, yep, I'm on Dione by submission. No pause in my voice about it. I actually think minus 250 or 240, whatever you get on her, I think it's a very good line. I think she should be minus 400 in this situation. So, just my take. Tail Trace. Trace said what I said, so tail me this time. Haha, fucker. I stole it from you. Andrew, what you got next?
Damn. All right, we're moving back to the lightweight division. We have Mauricio Ruffy. He is making his UFC debut. That's a fucking hell of a debut to take on Jamie Mullarkey. Ruffy has a 1-inch height disadvantage. However, he does have a 1-inch reach advantage. They do both fight orthodox. Jamie's coming off of a loss. Mauricio's obviously coming off of a win from the Contender Series, so he'll be making his debut. If we go to the odds, Mauricio Ruffy's a pretty big favorite. He is minus 185 right now on average, and Mullarkey is plus 150. Trace, it's all you, bro.
Yeah, I think, and honestly, for oh shit, what's his name to win? He has to be able to grapple. Yeah, Mullarkey to win. He has to be able to grapple Ruffy, or however you say his name, Mauricio, and get a hold of him and try to get him down. I don't think he's going to be able to. I think he's going to be able to negate the grappling and force a standing fight with. Bro, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Mullarkey, and I think he's going to catch Mullarkey in round 2 or round 3. Mullarkey's kind of got a suspect record in the UFC, man. Like the guys he's beat aren't very good, and the wins that he has, some of them are questionable as well. I think he probably gets caught in this fight.
Yeah, he's been knocked out 2 times in the past year or 2. So, just to note that he got knocked out by Naimov and Hasparat, if you recall.
If there's a punch thrown, that man will find a way to catch it with his face.
100%. And I mean, to his credit, I mean, if you just go back to like, it's like 15 or 13 or 14 months or something like that. I mean, he's got 2 W's. He's got 2 decision wins. I know in that time period too. But you know, he got fucking. He's got a drop switch, and they're putting him in against a hungry knockout artist. I'm not a guy who bites the narrative a lot, but I think you can bite the narrative that the UFC is hoping for this kid to come in and make a highlight.
Hey, real quick question for you guys. Ruffy, right, correct me if I'm wrong, if memory serves right, Ruffy's coming down from welterweight, isn't he?
Yes.
Okay, so the weight cut's going to be probably not an issue, but it'll be something to think about. But also, I'm wondering how big he's going to be, like, on fight night, like, physically, as far as, like, comparing to Jamie.
Yeah, see, but he's not tall. So
okay, I got you.
He's only like 5'11", and I know that he fought welterweight on the Contender Series, but I don't know. I know they change weights a lot. I'm trying to click buttons right here, right now on my screen. I'm trying to fucking bring it up because I don't know if he only stepped up to welterweight for that fight or if he was a welterweight fighter before this. Because you hear a lot of times that these guys change weight classes to get that Dana White Contender Series fight. Man, so all right, so he fought at welterweight before that. His title in Centurion FC was welterweight. Man, okay, so and he's fighting Mullarkey at 155. Is that right?
What was that?
He's fighting Mullarkey at 155.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it looks like this is his first time down there. I didn't go
That's
back.
a hell of a dude. That's a rough fight for a debut, bro.
Dude, cut to 55 and fighting Jimmy Mullarkey on your UFC debut on paper, or not on pay-per-view, but on a pay-per-view card.
Yeah.
Dude, they must really, really, really value this kid.
Yeah, they've got to have a lot of faith here. And he's 5'11". Jamie's 6 foot, right? Yeah, 5'8". Damn, I thought Jamie was taller. All right, so he will be the bigger guy, but fuck, man. That just seems like Dana White put that shit on a platter. Like,
Nah, Jamie's 6 foot.
Tap Ollie, I clicked over to Sherdog real quick because I wanted to see if I was right about his 4 fights. And our site only goes back 3 on the new search that I'm using the search, guys. I'm testing it. It only goes back 3 on our search. So
No, Mullarkey's pretty big for lightweight.
that's what I thought. He's like 6 foot. I don't know why fucking Sherdog says 5'8". Better times. Nice to see you tonight, bud. Get after it.
Yeah, y'all talking about Mullarkey and Ruffy, right? Hello.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So here, what I gathered is I don't agree with the odds, but I see the person who's the favorite winning because, in my opinion, Mullarkey is just way better. Like I think the last knockout and the fact that he barely got by the one dude, I forgot his name, but the fact that he barely got by that kickboxer is why he's the underdog. But he's way better. His movement's way better. His defense is better. His offense is better. Everything about Mullarkey is just good. It's just he has these fucking moments where he's taking pictures. It's what got him knocked out against uh what is it?
Naimov. You're talking about Naimov.
Yeah,
Standing
Naimov.
there
Yeah,
fucking looking at him, bro.
just looking. He had those are those moments are super consistent with all these fights. He just has these small little moments, and Ruffy is not the guy to do that against. That dude's timing is fucking perfect. His whole game is let me bring them in and time them when they try to fucking throw their offense, and he is really good at doing that. I think Mullarkey's gonna get off on him, but he's gonna get caught taking pictures, and Ruffy's gonna knock him out. So that's what I gathered from the footage.
Nice. Dead picks. I see you over on the YouTube. Do not use the rounds in the parlay calculator on screen right now. Because I'm transitioning to the new board right now. They are a little off, and they're just gonna have to be off because they're in their own table until I move the board over. So do not use rounds when you're using parlay calculator right now. It'll all be fixed in like a day. So like, fucking pick your battles, right?
Yeah, I figured because I was like trying to use the board earlier and it was like having like a little like problem uploading or whatever, loading up. So I'm like, Joe's probably updating this bitch. So
Yeah, we got a lot of shit going. And you'll also see that the left column, the the date count, it loads later. That's actually loading a shit ton of live data. When you see those charts and shit and it tells you how old they are, that's not some memory in a data bank, bro. Just like the AI, it's loading it. So you'll see that takes a minute to load and that features come up over about 20 seconds. It's because everything is live, man. So there's nothing on there that is just in a database. Our new scorecard search, we will have every scorecard, almost every scorecard you can find, credited to where they came from in a searchable database right next to our fighter search. That is the only database we will have. That's it. And that database finds its own stuff. So it's building a database, but it finds its own.
Quick, sorry, boys. I gotta run. I got a 3-year-old to put to bed. But shout out to you guys. Big fan of what you guys do in these spaces and everything. Trace, Andrew, appreciate you guys. Joe, everybody, you guys are dope. You guys enjoy your night. Hopefully, catch you guys on the next one. I honestly, I enjoy the shit out of this. So, catch you guys later. All right.
Eddie, thanks for coming by, bro. We appreciate
Appreciate
you
you, man.
coming in. I do follow Cage Side. I do watch him. I keep him in all of our feeds, and probably within about 3 weeks, our website will have a news docket where, like on fantasy football, ESPN, how you get a notification if there's something on a fighter. We will have notifications for any articles about the fighters, and Cage Side Press is the first to report, bro. Honest to
All
God,
right. Appreciate
I
you,
keep
man.
it at the top of my list, bro. So it'll report first and get all the hits first, and then I'm only putting like 3 sites behind it, man. So I do show you guys all the love I can behind the scenes. I promise you, Eddie. Thanks for coming
I
by,
got
bro.
you. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to everybody. Betters, Dead Pig, everybody. All right, you guys are dope. Catch you guys later.
Okay, boys. I think Better closed out that Mullarkey fight. Andrew, what's next?
Next, we're staying in the lightweight division. This card has a lot of lightweight fights, it seems like. We have 2 wily vets. We have Joaquim Silva taking on Drakkar Klose. Klose has a 1-inch height advantage as well as a 1-inch reach advantage. Silva fights southpaw and Klose is an orthodox. They are both coming off a win, so this should be fun. If we go to the odds, Klose on average is a minus 175 as it sits today, and Silva is a plus 141. Trace, go ahead, broski.
Yeah, man. I feel like this should be a Drakkar Klose fight, but Silva's kind of scary, man. He's got that power where he can definitely, we've seen him clip Armin and rock him. We know Klose has had, I'm not going to say a questionable chin, but he's been clipped a few times in the past, been put on wobbly legs, got whiplash from Jeremy Stevens from a shove. Yeah, I'm not racing to go bet either side of this fight. I think it's going to be a fun fight for as long as it lasts. Drakkar Klose probably wins this fight through a decision, but yeah, I'm not itching to bet it.
I'm gonna let Better Times get it.
Okay, yeah, this is kind of a toss-up for me, mainly because of the power of Joaquim Silva. That man is fucking built. But and with that, like you can see like how hard he is to take down, and you got to be like really elite. And I don't think Klose is that kind of wrestler. I don't think he's gonna get him down. But his striking is kind of the kryptonite to Joaquim Silva. He doesn't have the best defense, and if you can get into a striking flow, he kind of just freezes. He doesn't really look to counter or anything. So I think if Drakkar Klose just keeps this on the feet, don't try to wrestle him or anything like that. Just keep it on the feet, keep it at his range, and just start picking at him, and then get into his flow. I think he'll eventually finish him, but it's not going to be easy.
So I like the way you put it.
Yeah, so I didn't want to jump in and sound like a clown after Trace gave a legit take, so I thought I'd let Better follow up.
Let Better be the clown, huh?
No, I thought I'd let him follow up with something that sounded reasonable. Man, the writing's on the wall. I know Klose isn't a knockout artist, but dude can knock somebody out. He's knocking Joaquim Silva out, in my opinion. Yeah, it's Joaquim. I know I say it wrong, guys. I do know. I try, but he's knocking him out. Yeah, dude has a clear off switch. Drakkar has good composure. In my opinion, Drakkar has good composure. He will wear him down. It'll probably be a late round 2, round 3, but it's knockout for sure. Zabets.
Yo, shout out Eddie. He's mad funny seeing him in chat and stuff. He mad funny. Shout out Eddie. But I got a question for you guys. What do you guys think about the over in this fight? Like the over 2.5.
I think you're gonna sweat your balls off every exchange. I think these boys are gonna swing hard when they swing. I like I said, I'd like the decision. So but I do think it's gonna be sweaty, and there's definitely gonna be opportunities for either side to get the finish realistically. I think Drakkar probably has the cardio edge slightly. So the late round finish is probably more live for Klose than it is for Silva. So yeah, man, you can bet the over, but I think you're gonna sweat your nuts off.
Man, I think it ends too. I think it ends inside the distance, but I wouldn't even sweat the over 1.5. Is that weird? That I feel strong that it will go over 1.5, or I feel strong that it will end inside the distance, but I wouldn't even sweat over 1.5. Like I think it come at the end of the second or in the third. I just do. I don't know. Just my thoughts. Andrew, what you got next?
Next, we're going to switch it up a little bit. We're going to go to the featherweight division. We have Gene Silva and William Gomis taking on each other. William Gomis is a lot taller. He has a 5-inch height advantage. He is 6 foot tall. He also has a 4-inch reach advantage over Silva. Gomis fights southpaw. Silva fights orthodox. Again, both guys coming off of wins. So what does that mean? That means someone's got to lose, right? Silva, on average right now, is the favorite. He is minus 135, and Gomis is plus 110. Trace, go ahead, bro. Trace
quit.
Okay. Pass it up times.
Oh, he's
It's
having
cool.
baby problems.
It's cool. It's cool. I can hear him in the background. I can hear him struggling with it. So I like Gomis here. I I think he's a good fighter. I think that he will have. I think it's an IQ thing. I do think that Gene Silva is a really good fighter. I know that he has. I wouldn't say he has a grappling. I wouldn't. I would say the grappling is probably pretty close, to be honest. I think that Silva has the edge over Gomis in the grappling. I think he has a clear edge in striking. Uh, not not technique, but volume. Like I think he's a better volume fighter than Gomis, but I think Gomis better composure, way better defense. Yeah, I expect to see Gomis maybe finish. I expect these boys to beat the shit out of each other. Uh, but Gomis isn't like a prolific finisher, in my opinion. But I do expect these boys to beat the shit out of each other. I don't think it'll be volume by Gomis. I think he will be. I think it'll be a fight where you see volume from Silva and damage from Gomis. And fight to go the distance. No, sounds really nice, but I'm probably just taking Gomis. Trace.
Yeah, man, I'm on Gene Silva for this one. I think he's gonna pressure Gomis, and Gomis likes to have that clean, pretty fight where he's able to kind of pick the shots at his pace, not feel real stressed. He wants to have a nice, clean fight. He doesn't want a dirty dog fight, and that's what he's gonna get with Gene Silva. Gene's gonna come forward, pressure him, punch to the body, grapple, strike to the head. He's gonna mix it up well, and he's gonna apply pressure, and I think that's gonna be the fight. My only issue is I'm kind of worried about Gene getting a little too aggressive and walking onto something. But I don't really think Gomis has that finishing power. He's definitely not going to have the volume to do a lot of damage to Gene. So yeah, give me Gene Silva by decision. Better times.
Yeah, to me, this shouldn't even be a debate, man. This is Gomis. Like this, Gomis is the highest level fighter that Gene Silva has ever faced. Gene, all he does, he's a bully. That's all he is. He's a bully to fighters that aren't on his level or are too young and have never faced that kind of power before. He's only done that. He's faced two young fighters that had potential, but they never faced someone that just hits them and just bullies them like that before. All the other ones were fucking bums and don't even deserve to be fighting. Gomis has some of the best striking defense, some of the best footwork. He's going to be hard to find. And Silva's footwork isn't really a cut off and trap you kind of footwork. It's just march forward, you're going to feel my power, and he's not going to be able to find Gomis. And I mean, I think Gomis's power is overlooked. He does have power. It's just he's more of a like stick and move kind of fighter. That's really what he's been doing lately. So I think this is kind of the perfect matchup for him because Silva is going to be moving forward, just trying to fight, and he's going to walk onto something. So this is Gomis all day.
Nope, I definitely see your argument. I just think, like I said, I think if you don't give Gomis the pretty fight, he's going to struggle. But I think the first time we faced off, my brother, we'll see how we do this time. Good luck, my man. Andrew, what you got for us next?
Yes, sir.
Next, we have our final lightweight fight of the night. That'll be the fourth one, so that's a lot for one card. We have Elves Brener taking on Myktybek Orolbai. Both of them coming off a win, so somebody does have to lose. They are the same height, 5'10". However, Orolbai has a 2-inch reach advantage. They are both orthodox as well. If we go to the odds, Orolbai is a pretty heavy favorite right now. He's minus 270 on average, and Brener is a plus 210. Trace, go ahead, buddy.
Well, how do you not take a dog shot on a fucking dog, bro? Brenner is he is that man. He's a dog. He's got the dog mentality. Shoot the box fighter. Shoot the box all the way back to Vanderlei Silva days. All them boys are about it. They gonna fight, and they gonna fight for your fucking money. Honestly, I think you could get him at better odds probably later in the fight. I do think he's gonna lose the first round for sure. Probably even the second or most of the second round. But I do think of the two, the cardio we know for sure is Brener has it. So if Myktybek could go out there and ragdoll this man for 2 rounds, and if he gas, Brener will be there to finish him. I just think the control versus damage is what we're going to see here, and I think Brener is going to be the guy that's doing the damage. And I think we either see a late third round finish, or Brener gets a decision on damage. Yeah. Better times.
Yeah, lightning may have struck twice for Brenner, but it's not gonna strike a third time, man. The holes in his games are obvious. The first 2 fighters took advantage of that completely, and the judges robbed Tukugov, and then he got lucky with that punch on Katutalate. Dude, Orolbai is just such a good wrestler. He's like a Dagestani level wrestler with the cardio. He can wrestle for 15 minutes straight and hard. I don't think Brenner's going to be able to create any space against a top-heavy guy like Orolbai. Orolbai is going to control him for 15 minutes, decision win, easy.
In Fuego, nice to see you, bro. Better times. I have no argument for you or Trace because this is not a fight I cared about. In Fuego, bud, get after it.
Yeah, I'm happy you're pronouncing it right. That's awesome. That's good stuff. Yeah, I gotta disagree with Trace. I posted this earlier today, and I like that Wizard's in here listening too, because I know he's on Orolbai, and I'm just not seeing the love for Elvis Brener, and I think the only reason that is that we're seeing that love early on from the Value Boys on Twitter is because of his last fight. Other than that, I think you're going to see 15 minutes of nuts right on the chin. And at the end of the fight, I think a lot of people are going to look and they're going to go, what the hell was I thinking? I just watched a fight in which I wanted the ref to stand him up for 15 minutes and it didn't happen. And I think you might look back and go, I just miscalculated what I played. I don't blame anybody for putting plus 200, but there's always the option of no play.
There's 1-800-GAMBLER. Because this is a no play fight for me, but I'm not mad at either side of this fight. I hope everybody cashes, but not everybody can. Andrew, what you got next?
Next, we're going to the strawweight division. We have Karolina Kowalkiewicz taking on Iasmin Lucindo. They're going to be the same height, 5'3". Lucindo has a 2-inch reach advantage. Both of them fighting orthodox as well, and both of them coming off of win streaks, in fact. So someone has to lose, right? If we go to the odds, on average, Lucindo is a very large favorite. She is minus 435. And Karolina is plus 314. It sounds like Lucinda's going to be able to have her way in the grappling department. That's pretty much how I see this fight going. I think the odds would agree with that. Trace, do you have a take on this, my friend?
I don't have a strong take on this fight. I'm not always the quickest to jump on the bandwagon for fighters coming off of the contender series, especially against fighters that have had proven success in the UFC. Especially, Karolina's had a lot of success against women in the UFC. The people that have beaten her have been either title contenders or champions themselves at some point. Yeah, I just think this is going to be a humbling experience for Iasmin Lucindo. I'm not going to shot on the dog here, man. Like I said, big debut or big name in the UFC. I don't know if it's necessarily a debut, but I think it's a big step up in competition for her, and we're going to see that reflected here in the fight. Better times.
Okay. I don't think Lucindo was on Contender Series. She just made her debut on the main card of a pay-per-view. But the grappling, I don't think Lucindo is going to have the edge in that because Karolina has really good takedown defense. I think Lucindo is going to find that out early. But the striking is where this fight's going to take place, and I think Lucindo is going to have the advantage. Karolina, she has power, but she doesn't have as much power as Lucindo. And even if she does touch Lucindo, Lucindo has a chin. She could take shots, not only just take shots, she takes shots and immediately starts barraging them with more. And that's what's going to happen, and that's what's going to overwhelm Karolina. The fact that she can time her counters off of Karolina anyway, because she is faster, she is stronger. But if she touches her and hits her good in any way, Lucindo will get mad and fucking go for it again and hit her with more. Lucindo is gonna win, probably by decision. I don't see her finishing her unless it's by like a TKO late.
I know the best way to get better at fighting is just to get madder in the fight.
So, my bad, Trace. You were cutting in and out. My bad. I'm on Karolina here, guys. Come on, you guys. It's bro. It's Polyana Vienna and Brogan Walker. That's who she's beat.
Fuck all that noise. Look at her fight against Iasmin Uruguay. That's the fight you should be studying.
The one she lost? The one we said she would lose?
Doesn't matter if she lost. Think about how good she was. And the things that she did well.
So here's
and
what
compare
I'll say
that
to
against
you.
Karolina.
Here's what I'll say to you. Don't be shocked when Karolina out-volumes her, because she will. Don't be surprised when Karolina can hit her, because she's very hittable. Her striking defense is fucking asshole, to say the least. Yeah, she's just. I shouldn't say that. It's not asshole, to say the least. That was way of an overstatement. But she
No,
definitely.
it is. She doesn't have good striking defense, but she times her counters. That's the point.
It's gonna
Like
be
she'll get
volume.
hit, but then she'll hit it back.
It's going to be a volume. It's going to be a decision win for Karolina on volume accumulation. She is probably going to hit her 3 times more than Iasmin hits Karolina, in my opinion. And I'm not even being funny. She is probably going to put hands on her and hit her 3 times more. If Iasmin doesn't, I don't know if I'm saying it right, Ismin. If she doesn't shoot for the takedown and try to do something not standing with Karolina, this is her fight to lose, bro. Karolina is not going to get out volumed by her, and she's not going to get outstruck by her. It's
Like
just
even if you don't think Karolina wins the fight,
Joe, come on, Joe. I want to wager you on this one because I am like for sure on this one,
bro. I mean,
Oh, hey, Joe.
because
Joe,
look,
are you
the only reason
concerned
Yasmin.
about
Oh, go ahead.
Are you concerned about the age difference in the venue at all?
no, not at all.
I mean, we're talking 38-year-old fighter to a 22-year-old fighter in Brazil.
So
I'm not saying to play the huge favorite here. I'm not saying that.
So I
I'm
think
just
the nose
saying
dive for
from a
women in
pure
Fuego is 41.
what?
For women, I think the nosedive is 40, 41, 42. I still think 36, 37, 38. 39 is iffy. I still think I don't think
even if you don't think Karolina wins, you can do the plus 3.5 whenever it comes out for Karolina, because she's gonna win at least one round. And if you can get it anywhere close to a pick'em, that's good fucking value, in my opinion. I don't think Karolina only wins the fight. I mean, obviously I think she wins the fight, but I mean she's definitely gonna win a round even if she does lose the fight. Like even if this fight goes to decision, she's not gonna get clean swept. Like so, I think the plus 3.5 whenever it comes out, as long as it's decently lined, it's a good play.
Well, Trace, do you think she'll win the first round?
Probably not. It'll probably be an uphill battle. It'll probably be her Yasmin coming out, guns blazing, trying to get her out early, and then fading out.
Well, that's
She didn't fade before.
My point was going to be if you think she's going to win the first round, then just live bet Iasmin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair. I
Because
mean,
you're going to get a way better line,
you mean-
obviously.
Oh, you talking about? Oh, yeah. Okay. That's what you're saying. Like after the first round, if she wins the first round.
I mean, even if you think Karolina's going to win the second round, then you're going to get a better line if it's 1-1 going into the third.
Yeah, because I mean, if it's, I mean, even dude, usually 9 times out of those 10s, 9 times out of 10, if you just wait until that fight starts, them lines almost always
It'll drop.
almost
It drops.
down to a pick 'em within like 20 seconds of the fight starting. Like the people paying like all that crazy price on a fighter before, just because of the quote unquote there's still value on the line. If you just wait, like I said, 30 seconds into round one for most fights, you'll get at least probably $1 better.
Well, I don't think you need to wait with Karolina though. I think take the money now. You're gonna get it.
Probably could wait because people are still gonna be jumping all over Yasmin Lucindo. She'll probably balloon up to a bigger dog into the week.
Yeah, I'll say this though. I'm not willing to bet distance. I'm gonna take Karolina, but I'm not willing to bet the distance on it. I'll say that shit. Yeah. All right.
You think Karolina's gonna finish her?
I think she could submit her.
Oh yeah, I mean she
in Brazil though, Joe. You know they're in Brazil.
Oh
yeah,
man.
but we know the rule, right?
What's the rule?
One of them has to get beat up badly. One of the Brazilians has to get embarrassed on every card. It has to happen. Go check every UFC card in Brazil in history. One of them gets absolutely fucking mopped every card.
Elves Brener is that guy.
Who the
Elves
fuck is
fucking
that guy?
Brener.
Oh God! Fair enough. Listen, we're beating the fuck out of the Lucindo.
Gotta be the one.
Karolina fight, man. Andrew, what's next, bro?
Man, who would have thought we'd spend 25 minutes on that fight?
Me. That's why I was trying to skip fights earlier.
It's no problem at all. We're going to go to the featherweight division. We have Jack Shore coming back. He hasn't fought in a year. Every time he fights, I feel like he doesn't fight in a while. But he'll be taking on Joanderson Brito this Saturday. They are the same height at 5'8". Brito has a 1-inch reach advantage. They do both fight orthodox. And they are both coming off of wins, which is always nice. That's why we like pay-per-view cards, guys, because a lot of these guys are coming off of wins. If we go to the odds, it looks like currently on average, Jack Shore is an underdog at plus 131. Brito is the favorite at minus 161. Trace, go ahead.
Yeah, man. Honestly, I think Brito probably comes out here and mops Jack Shore up pretty quickly. Round 1, round 2, probably a club and sub most likely. I think he comes out and tries to overwhelm him early with big punches. But I would be crazy to not play the round 2 and 3 sub prop whenever it comes out on FanDuel. I'm sure it'll probably be pretty juice. Brito has shown to gas in the past. I forget the guy he just fought on the last card. The guy that he gassed pretty hard against. I know he's struggled against Aljo, or not Aljo, but Algio, Bill Algio.
You're talking about Pierce versus. You're talking about Brito versus Pierce.
Pierce, he struggled against Pierce. Ended up catching him late because of just bad IQ. We talked about that last card, but yeah, I think early he has the advantage, but we could see him tire out and get wrestled up in the late. So I am going to take a hedge, I guess you'd say, for the sub prop late, but I do think Brito gets him out in round 1. Better times.
Okay, yeah, this is another one I couldn't make my mind up. Like, honestly, I think Jack Shore is way better at striking than Brito because his striking is just way more clean. And it feels like that is overlooked because of his wrestling. I don't think he's gonna be stronger than Brito early. I think he can outstrike him later, but the problem is that Brito's power, it carries on throughout the fight. Like even in that Algio fight, it looked like he gassed, but every time he was on the feet, he was lighting Algio up. He just kept on hitting him. He could not miss. But for some
The
fucking
blitz style.
reason, he kept trying to wrestle him. Huh?
He's a blitz style fighter, so he catches the blitz.
Dude, I honestly can't hear you.
Said he's a blitz style fighter. He catches his breath, then explodes, and catches his breath.
Oh, okay, and but the problem was that he couldn't miss against Algio, and it's because of how fast he closes the distance when he blitzed. I see that being a factor against Shore. So I think even though early, I think it's going to be Brito. I think later Shore can get back into the fight, but that power and that blitz is going to be a motherfucker to just avoid. I don't know if he can avoid it or not. So I think I can understand why Brito is the favorite, and I can see how he can win. So I think, I don't know, man. I would stay away from this. Just really over 1.5 is the best bet.
And Fuego.
Yeah, I think it's important in this fight to mention some of Brito's wins. I mean, Chepe Mariscal, which, whatever, you can say that he's a tough guy. Brito beat Diego Lopez, guys. He beat Andre Fili. He's beat some good guys, and the first time Jack Shore faced tough opposition, Ricky Simone pretty much dominated the guy. So that's all I'm going to throw out there. Brito's, again, we need to reiterate where this venue is and who's fighting and just kind of look at, I mean, do we really want to back a Welsh grappler? I mean,
That goal
anyway.
by Ricky Simone folds up nobody.
Yeah, I mean,
bro, don't overlook that striking, man. Short can strike, but you got a good point. That's actually an excellent point. So yeah, I'm probably gonna throw a little bit on Brito myself now.
Good shit in Fuego. If nobody else has got an argument on this fight, we'll jump to the next one. Andrew.
Let's do it. Let's go to the main card, guys. We're going to start it off with what could be a fun one. We have Paul Craig taking on fan favorite Caio Bahayo in the middleweight division. Caio is obviously going to be the hometown fan favorite. I imagine this crowd's going to go pretty crazy for him, much like myself. I love Caio. Paul Craig will be the taller fighter, 6'3" to 5'10". He only has a 1-inch reach advantage, though. Craig is an orthodox. Caio fights southpaw. Craig is coming off of a loss, and Caio is coming off of a win, so that's interesting. It's the first time we've seen that tonight. If we go to the odds, Caio is a huge favorite, minus 588 currently on average. Paul Craig is a plus 397. This is another one of those where you're either betting the dog or you're betting an outcome, because betting minus 600 is crazy. Trace, what you got, bro?
Yeah, this one feels like, I forget if it's Mick that does the heavier weight classes or if it's Sean. I know one does the lighter, one does the heavier, but it feels like they kind of walked up to Paul Craig and just told him, it's like, yep, buddy, it's time to cash you out, because, like, where the fuck does he have a chance at in this fight? Like, he can't strike with Borjas. No, Borjas is a killer on the feet, but he's far better than Paul Craig. Definitely can hang with him on the ground. Caio Bahayo, he's gonna run through this guy on the ground as far as like position and control. He may not submit him, he may not. But as far as like the chances of him getting submitted by Paul Craig's like one path to victory. Not very, very likely here. Yeah, man. Like, it's hard usually to justify minus 500. Yeah. Caio
Not
Bahayo.
for parlay bettors, though, Trace. Not for parlay bettors.
Yeah, but what I would say this, I mean, it is a Paul Craig fight. How do you not bet the submission prop? But if you're not getting like plus 1,200 or better in this fight for just the base submission prop, that's just crazy, because like it's such a low chance of him submitting this guy as it is. Yeah, it should be fucking stacked. Then I would take a chance on it, but Yeah, man. I think Kyle kind of does whatever he wants to with him in this fight. Does he want to display his striking? Does he want to display his dominance against another grappler? Does he want to submit Paul Craig? We'll see.
So I am of the opinion that everything you said. How about that? I have no argument for Paul Craig winning this fight at all. I think Caio is a beautiful parlay piece, though. Yep, I know it's minus 500, but who cares? It's late in the card. If you're parlaying him through, he should be a nice little boost by now. Your parlay should already have some bankroll, even a little 1 to 5 action, just giving yourself a 20% bankroll.
What is the over on this fight? What is that lined at? What is it? Is it over 1.5? Is it over 2.5?
Here, let me tell you right now. I'm on our site. So
And I would maybe even just take this fight to go over
1.5, bro. 1.5.
Is it plus? Or is it minus?
Minus 190.
That's not bad, man. I feel like this fight definitely goes over 1.5 rounds. This fight probably goes to a decision. Honestly, we haven't seen like Kyle be too aggressive with his finishes or the chasing of the finishes so far. And like I said, Paul Craig is more than competent on the ground to try to stay out of some shit as long as he doesn't gas himself trying to grapple with Borjas. And Fuego, what do you got?
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier this week and I tweeted it out, but I want to ask you guys this question. So I'm looking, at Paul Craig's resume and, we all know he beat Jamal Hill, with that arm injury and stuff. But knowing what we know and what we just saw with Hill against Pereira, are we going to look back 5 years from now and wonder what the hell Jamal Hill was doing in the main event of UFC 300?
I think people were asking that before the fight.
Let's be real. A lot of people were on Jamal Hill, including me, which was one of the dumbest plays I've made all year, and I'll admit it.
Yep, I'm right there with you. In hindsight, it looked pretty dumb.
I think we're going to look back, guys, 3, 4, 5 years, and old Uncle Joe's going to come in here and told us that he told us. But anyway, we're going to go, what in the world was that fighter doing fighting Alex Pereira?
Yes,
I don't know.
sir.
Throw it out there.
Yes, sir.
Think you got to wait years for that? He'll tell you that tomorrow. He'll tell you that yesterday.
I was gonna say I'll tell it to you next week. Don't worry. I didn't see a bunch of hands on this one, so Andrew, what's next?
And Fuego, that was great, bro. That was great. We're going to the middleweight division. Another big favorite. We have a fan favorite, actually, Michel Pereira. He's going to be taking on Ihor Peteria. Michel is the shorter fighter. He has a 2-inch height disadvantage. He also has a 2-inch reach disadvantage. Michel fights orthodox. Ihor fights southpaw. They're both coming off of wins, which is nice to hear. Someone's got to lose, right? We go to the line. It's going to be very similar to the last fight. Michel is minus 556 currently on average, and Ihor is plus 392. I don't think this is a fight where anyone's going to take a dog shot at all. If anything, if you wanted to take a minus fucking 600 parlay piece, I would say it'd be this one. I feel much more confident taking Michel over a Caio in that case. But yeah, hopefully someone knows an outcome to this fight because, that's a steep line. Trace, what you got, bro?
Yeah, I'd probably just take Michel Pereira on inside the distance. Probably submission props. Yeah, I don't know that he'll knock out Ihor, but I think if he gets him on the ground, he can submit him. Yeah, if I'm going to play that fight, that would be how I play this fight.
I feel like Ihor is unplayable.
100%.
And that's all I can say is he is unplayable. Michel Pereira at minus 556 is also unplayable. So, yep, that's all I got.
I've never seen Michel Pereira minus 600 ever.
He might as well be minus 10,000 right now. because it's the same thing. I'm never touching. I'm never touching that. Never, ever.
I know some people like to get cute and they see lines that are really wide and they just like to take the fucking dog shot for the sake of the dog shot. Guys, this is not that fight. This is just not that fight.
I think that motherfucker's older than me, Andrew.
It's a proven betting plan, Andrew.
Just saying, bro. I think he's older than me. You motherfuckers calling me grandpa every day. I think he's older than me. What the fuck? Fuego, what you got?
Yeah, I just want to I want to tell you guys I saw Pereira in his debut in Rochester, New York, when he beat Hot Sauce. Wasn't it Hot Sauce Danny Roberts? Wasn't that his nickname?
What was it like when fights were in the Coliseum?
Yeah, no shit, right? But what I was gonna say was, hey man, let's not, I get it, the line's too wide. Who wants to play that? I think Trey said it was right. Inside the distance might be the play, but let's not forget this guy's won 7 straight fights. Man, he's on a hot streak, and he's really an overlooked kind of.
He's on a tear. You're right.
Yeah, he's on a tear. He's very underrated, and since he changed weight classes, this guy has looked phenomenal. So my question to you guys is, do you guys see this guy being a top 5 fighter in the UFC at this weight class?
I think he waited too long into his career to get serious, man. He's a bit old, isn't he, for the weight class? Like 34, 30.
Is he 30, 35? Is he?
Who's the top 5?
No, he's only
middleweight?
Shit, man. No, he's from Brazil, right? So he's 30, but he might be 36, right?
he's not only 30 years old.
He's 30. He's 30 years old.
He might be over 30 for sure.
Yeah,
that date of birth.
That's a hard fucking 30, bud.
Cocaine's legal in Brazil, right?
So, I mean, let's say he gets this win, which I think he will. What do we do with Michelle? What do we do with him next? I mean, he's ranked 18. What, you put him against somebody in the top 10?
He'll get a ranked fighter next for sure.
Reset up that fight.
I just feel like we overrate this guy or underrate this guy for some reason,
Well, I mean, he definitely looks great. He definitely looks great at middleweight.
Fighter, but I think he's old as fuck.
But he's not. According to
Yo, who he beat last month? I know he just
not
recently.
even.
He beat. He not only beat, he dominated Lord Michael Oleksiejczuk. He remember he throttled him in the first minute, choked him.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
position for that one, boys. You're welcome.
He beat Petrosky before that. He beat Ponzinibbio, Fila. He's not
Chaos Williams.
Whoa, boys, hold on. Anybody on UFCstats.com?
Yeah.
Click Eeyore's name.
Click his name?
Click his name.
Okay.
What's it say his next fight is?
Yeah, that's if he's healthy.
Okay, so that is why is the other fight already? Because they had to get 2.
So what happened was they originally scored had to fight matchup with Ihor against Shara, which is the one you're seeing. But then out of nowhere, like 2 days later, they announced this fight against Michel. So I read something and it said that if he's healthy, he will stay on the card versus Shara. If not, they will definitely find a replacement for him.
So
it's very weird.
So after Pichel knocks him out, Pichel's going to fight Shara then?
No, they're going to find someone else because that would just make no sense.
Y'all want to hear a good laugh? So I was at work the other day, and my coworker he doesn't really know that I do a podcast. Like I didn't tell him. I don't really talk to him like that. But he heard me and another coworker that does know about the podcast talking about Bo Nickel and his last fight, and how it was kind of a letdown. This man proceeded to tell me that Bo Nickel was going to be the next big thing because of his boxing. This man told me that he had some of the best boxing he's seen in a long time in the octagon. I was like, brother, were we watching the same fight? I was like, everybody, like, I'm over here, like, I mean, it's hard to say it's a letdown of a performance for what he did against Cody. I mean, he dominated Cody, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't the kind of domination that we expected. You expect to see Cody get put away in that fight. But, like, the nerve to tell me that, because I said he's not a good, like, his wrestling did not look good, and it doesn't seem like his wrestling is going to translate to be as dominant as we saw, because Cody is not as high of a level of decorated as a wrestler, and we've seen him actually had to do more of the ragdolling in that fight when it came to, like, open exchanges and grappling. I just thought it was pretty funny that apparently Bo Nickel is a very good boxer nowadays.
Well, he should fight Shara. All I care about now is that I may see Michelle Piera versus Shara. I'll be honest, man. I checked like 6 sources. He's really only 30. I can't fucking believe it. I check shirt off.
The kid, the guy from the Benchwarmers, comes over with the paper. I am 12. He's actually like 7 years old.
So I always knew that was the thing that, like, Cubans did, especially with, like, baseball players. I didn't know that was a thing in Brazil as well.
Man,
I mean, let's be honest. Orolbai looks like he's 37 and a half years old, but he's only 26 as well.
Man,
So
I'm gonna call this one. We're kicking the can here talking about Bo Nickel. I don't mean to cut you off, in Fuego. We got a little bit of a schedule to keep. Holy fuck, 30 years old. Andrew, what's next? Dude, that's gotta be bullshit.
Andrew, we're on a tight schedule. Hurry the fuck up.
Hey, fuck you. You ain't gotta make me look like an ass. You ain't gotta do that.
Damn. I feel like I should go slower now. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to go to the light heavyweight division. I'm sad. I'm just going to say that right now. I'm sad. We have Anthony Lionheart Smith taking on Vitor Petrino. Smith will be the taller fighter, 6'4" to 6'2". However, Smith has a 1-inch reach disadvantage. They do both fight orthodox. Smith is coming off of a loss recently to Khalil Roundtree. Petrino is coming off of a win streak. If we go to the odds, which I don't really want to do, Smith is a pretty big underdog, plus 380. Vitor Petrino, minus 556. I will say this right now. I will preface this. Be careful with what you guys say. Show some respect. Joe, do you want to kick this off?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
You better show some respect, bro. Don't do it.
All right, for sure. Bet fight to go the distance. No, for sure. You can take that bet. You're probably not going to get a great line on it. But take that bet. All right, be respectful. Who did you say was the taller fighter? Andrew?
Smith is. He's 6'4", and Vitor is 6'2".
How much taller do you think Vitor is going to be when Anthony's flat on the ground?
Fuck you.
Trace, what you got on this fight, bro?
Yeah, I don't see any issues with what it's lined. Is it a big jump up for Petrino? Yeah, maybe so, but I think we know for a fact at this point that Anthony Smith's best days are behind him. He doesn't really seem like his biggest thing was he's Lionheart. Like, he's willing to walk through the damage to come back to win at the end. And he just doesn't seem like he deals with the damage well anymore. And I think that's what he would have to do in this fight. He would have to survive the damage early and bounce back with a late finish. He's always live for a late round submission. With that being said, but I think Petrino comes out here and maybe finally puts him behind the desk for good. Maybe he finally hangs it up after this fight. I don't want to see the guys keep taking damage. I don't hate Anthony Smith. I actually enjoy. When I used to listen to the Believe You Me podcast, I thought he was a very nice addition to the show. Yeah, I hope for nothing but the best for Anthony Smith. I just don't think that. I don't think he needs to be fighting anymore. And Fuego.
You know, I I echo everything you're saying, and I give a lot of respect for that man after he took that knee from John Jones and waved it off and kept going, right? But he did not win his last fight against Ryan Spann. I was on Anthony Smith and I said he did not win this fight against Ryan Spann.
100%. I had
So
felt dirty cashing it, but I cashed that baby.
yeah, so to me, he's lost 5 straight fights. And it's not only the way it's not that he's lost. You look at that Khalil Roundtree fight, he just looked slow and he looked out his cardio was bad. He just looked like a guy who was just there, you know? And you actually feel for the guy that he's standing there because you know what's coming and you don't want to see it anymore. And unfortunately, in Brazil, with a guy that's 11 years older and 11 years younger, I think Petrino's going to put him in the third row. And I just don't want to see it. And I think he needs to accept a graceful exit to the broadcast booth.
I think it's more beneficial for him not to announce his retirement. He's an active fighter on the roster. I know there's a lot of retired guys on the broadcast. Yeah, I think he's better off to not retire. Just, I don't know why I feel that way. I just feel that way. I see no more hands. Andrew, what's next?
I will say really quick, I agree with Enfuego. I know I give a lot of fighters shit when they're older. Like, I tend to fade guys that are 35 plus unless there's a reason not to. Anthony Lionheart Smith is a prime example of why I don't like watching athletes past their prime. I know a lot of fans in every sport, especially fucking MMA, are suckers for dudes who continue to fight just because they like that fighter so much. They're such fans. It's the same way like how everyone wants to watch fucking Grandpa Tyson box. Like, that shit's crazy to me. Smith he's past his prime. He's getting hurt. Like, that's the problem, is he's not just losing fights. Like, he's getting hurt. And at this point, it's the same shit that I echo about Tony Ferguson. It's like, bro, at this point, it's not even about your career, bro. It's your life. Like, you've got another 40 years of life to live. Like, why don't you focus on that? So yeah, I don't think he should be fighting anymore, to be honest. If he does, it is what it is. I can't force him to retire, but yeah, I echo what everyone else says, and I think he should definitely join the booth. I think he's great at it. Trace, what's up?
Oh, I was just raising my hand because you were describing me as those people that keep betting them past their prime because they love them so much. We all know I'm very guilty of doing that.
Oh, no, I wasn't. No, not at all. Definitely wasn't that.
Ownership is part of the healing process, man. Let me have this.
Should we move on to the co-main? Let's do it. We have it. I mean, it depends on who you are. I'm sure most people will disagree with me. I'm not too excited for this fight, but I know a lot of people are. We have the leg kicking machine, Jonathan Martinez, taking on a returning Jose Aldo. This is going to be a big fight for the Brazil card. I think this fight alone is what sells out the card. I don't think the main event means all that much. I think everyone came to see Jose Aldo. Martinez is 1 inch taller, 5'8" to 5'7". They have the same reach. Jonathan Martinez fights southpaw. Aldo fights orthodox. Martinez is coming off of a pretty big win streak. His last 5 are wins. Aldo is coming off of that loss to Merab. Fuck Merab for that. That was a terrible fight. Just an absolutely terrible fight. If we go to the odds, Jonathan Martinez is a favorite currently. On average, right now, he is minus 164, and Aldo is plus 132. Trace, go ahead, bro.
I loves me a fucking dog in Rio, baby. You give me the king of Rio with dog money, son. Look, what is the Martinez? He is a kicker. You trying to tell me, my man, Aldo doesn't know how to check a kick? He's going to check the kicks. He's going to check them hard. And then he is going to force this man to box with him, where he is going to tear that body up. He's going to throw combos to that body. And once those start landing there, those hands are going to drop, and Martinez is going to get knocked out, bro. This man's been focusing on his boxing for the last year. Like, he's had a couple pro boxing matches and he's won. His hands are going to look better than ever. Yeah, he's gonna take the weapon that Jonathan Martinez has, which is the kicks. He's gonna take that away from him, and then he can't get him down. He can't wrestle him. Like, Aldo's always had good takedown defense. Like, this is a fucking good fight for Aldo, I feel. Yeah, give me Aldo. I'm gonna take the round 2, round 3 KO on FanDuel whenever it comes out, and but I'm also gonna play the decision prop. I do think Martinez is tough. I do think he's probably able to make it, but if Aldo starts ripping to the body, I think it's only an eventuality before he puts Martinez down to the head. Joe.
Aldo at plus money is crazy. Aldo at plus money is dog of the week. Absolute dog of the week, in my opinion. I can't overstate it. He has not been off. It irritates me that people are acting like he's been sitting on the couch coming out of retirement. The man's been boxing. He actually wants to get on the Jake Paul, Mike Tyson undercard after he wins this fight. I see the thumbs down, but man, he's a good boxer. That's a great card for him to get on. A lot of exposure late in his career, big paycheck. Does bring MMA fans in, does bring Brazilians in, which they're not drawing that specific market in right now. Yeah, like I can't believe Aldo is plus money, to be honest. And Trace, I'll double you down one better. I've seen Aldo's coach mention twice. Once was like straight up, I think, on embedded. Their whole camp is built around shutting down Jonathan Martinez's kicks.
Oh yeah, like I said, that is literally his weapons, man. Like, if you can shut down his leg kicks, yeah. There's what else is he gonna do?
I mean, and let's be honest, there is definitely argument that, in prime, Jose Aldo is one of the best kickers in UFC history. So it's not like this is going to. I wouldn't be surprised if Jose goes out there and chops Jonathan's legs apart in 2 fucking minutes, and the man can't even fucking use his kicks. Have you ever seen Jose Aldo kick somebody's leg? There's a lot of things where people are like, "Yeah, go ahead," and I'm like, "All right, yeah, you let that guy hit him. He's dumb." I would.
Initially, I thought that was gonna be the case too, but he doesn't kick like that anymore. I would love for him to come out and start throwing those kicks like that, but like that's been the biggest part of his career is that he got away from the kicks in the later part of his career, whether it's because of efficiency or him not being able to throw them as well. I don't know why he got away from them, but that has been an issue for his career.
I mean, didn't he use leg kicks against? I guess he didn't use them against. So I got to give it to you. Hands wet up. Za hasn't got on the mic much tonight, so I'm going to let him get after it right away. Go ahead, Za.
Appreciate you. I got one question for you, Joe. What's your one saying when a fighter that's like mentally checked out of a fighter and like you're betting on it? What do you always do?
You got to fade that motherfucker. What do you think? You think
Thank
Aldo's checked
you.
out?
What?
You got to fade it. Well, you think Aldo's checked out?
He's checked out. He said he wants to box. Dude, think about boxing, dude. Come on.
Nah, I think it's a drive. You got to understand us old people, bro. Sometimes we ain't got shit to do. He needs something to do. He needs to know I got goals. It ain't like he's fighting for a belt. That's the truth. It's not like he's fighting for a belt title contention. Yeah, the original fight would have been a better fight. In Fuego.
Yeah, I think Zaw hit it perfect. He to what I was gonna say was I hear what you're saying, Joe, about preparation, and I kind of have a feeling Aldo stays in shape, probably just in life. You know what I mean, from training for so long. But to me, it's about motivation. Does he want to fight, or is the narrative true that they're just filling this spot with him because they needed the fight there to sell the tickets? You know what I mean? That narrative's there. I don't know whether I believe it or not, but it is there. And I think my second point would be: are we betting on Aldo because of Jose Aldo 5 years ago, 10 years ago, or are we betting on Jose Aldo now in what he is? And last thing, last thing I'll say is Aldo opened as a slight favorite. I think around minus 115, 120. Public is on Aldo and the line's dropped. So that always gives me pause.
Bro, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that's the one thing that I did want to say about this fight is Aldo's the bigger name, so the casual fans are going to be betting on him. Got to imagine a lot of sharps are too. There's sharps in this room. There's sharps out on Twitter. I'm sure a lot of the money is on Aldo. I'm curious to see just how much money is on Aldo, because if he started out as a favorite, now you're going to be paying out all that dog money. Oof. I don't know, man.
How long's Martinez been in camp?
I don't know.
This is not the original fight.
Yeah, it ain't. What up, everybody? My bad. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing okay.
What's happening, bud? What's happening?
What's up? I just came on and was just hearing the whole Aldo and Martinez talk. But yeah, honestly, obviously, it wasn't probably the original fight. And as far as Martinez, wasn't his last fight like back in, was it November or October?
Yeah, Adrian Yanez.
Yeah, was that his last one?
Yep. It was
Yeah.
Adrian.
October.
Yeah, there you go. So I guess, can we positively say that he probably went back into camp like around January?
I mean, he wouldn't stay in camp that long. I'm sure he was getting in shape. I'm sure he was training again.
Not yet. That's why I'm saying, like, was it like, could we just say like maybe around January or so, February max?
Well, he wasn't training for this fight because Aldo's coach says they were training for Dominic Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
And Dominic Cruz can't make the fight. So that means Jonathan Martinez isn't coming in on as much of notice or much of a training camp as Jose Aldo is. He may have been in shape. He may be going to the gym. I'm not discounting him. I'm just pointing out that very late in the game we found out, because it's on all the fucking YouTube channels. It's on all the news pages. We just found out that Dominic Cruz pulled and Jose was supposed to fight Cruz. So, and that itself was I believe, a fairly short notice fight. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't think this fight got announced like 5 months ago. I think it was just announced like fucking 12 weeks out or something, 11 weeks out. So I don't know. And I think Jose's been staying in shape for boxing. He's been very serious about it. And it's paper. He's got good name value. He's winning. It's about getting paper. I don't think he's chasing a world title in boxing. I think he's chasing some fucking good paychecks for less damage for kids that can't hold him against the cage and shit like that. I think Jonathan Martinez has no choice but to strike with Jose Aldo, though. So we're going to find out if he's got it or not. That's my opinion. We're going to find out.
Cool.
Andrew. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I cut off Andrew. My bad.
No, that was Za. Go ahead, Za. I guess never mind. Andrew, what's next?
Yurko, did you have something on that before we move to the next fight?
Yeah, my bad. My bad, Andrew or Zai, if I cut you guys off. The only thing I was going to say was, are we able to take a little bit of the Martinez and Cub Swanson fight into somewhat this fight, or am I just reaching too far back and thinking about it just on another type of level?
I feel like they're different fighters.
Yeah, I will say this: if Jose Aldo's not able to mobilize the kicks, I think his kick defense is going to be far superior to like what Cub Swanson's is, or what Adrian Yanez's was. Just my.
All right, we will go to the main event. It is a title fight in the flyweight division. We have the champion, Alessandro Pantoja. He's going to be taking on Steve Erceg. Let's see. Steve Erceg is going to be the bigger guy. He has a 3-inch height advantage as well as a 1-inch reach advantage. They are both orthodox, both obviously coming off of wins. Steve Erceg has won all 3 of his UFC fights, and Pantoja has won at least his last 5 with a couple nice last fights. One to beat Moreno for the title, and then his first title defense against Royval. If we go to the odds, Pantoja is a favorite at minus 196. Steve Erceg is a dog at plus 158. Trace, take it away, bro.
Yeah, man. So, how do you not bet the dog in this fight? Like, so here's the thing. Pantoja is a monster. He's a dog, but he's 35 years old. He's been in wars. He's put on the great shows for us. But at 35, you're starting to age out of that division. Like, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, speed is king in that division, and the older you get, the slower you start to move. You start to lose the speed. You start losing the athletic advantages that you had. Erceg's already the bigger guy. So, but instead of actually picking a side, I do think Erceg's live to win here. I think this fight's going to be a close fight. I think it's going to be a lot more back and forth than people are expecting. I don't think it's going to be dominant one way or the other. I'm going to put a split prop in this fight, man. I think this, like I said, I think one way or the other, this fight goes to a split decision. I think it's going to all of Pantoja fights end up being pretty close, whether he wins or loses. Here lately, anyways, I do think that the split that goes to a split or wins by split is a good look for this fight. I'll probably hit the split prop itself, and I might even sprinkle it on either side just to kind of, especially if there's good value on them, just kind of cash that way. But yeah, I think this fight probably goes to a decision, so the overs are probably a pretty good look. But yeah, like I said, I like the split. And Fuego.
Yeah, so if I'm not mistaken, this fight opened as a larger favorite for Pantoja. I see it on Bet Online as a minus 194 at the moment, which tells me, Narrative Nation has started to come in on Erceg, and the snowball's starting to go down the hill for Erceg momentum. My question is what's his path, right? Erceg's path is what, a KO? Well, if we look at him, he's got 13 fights. He's knocked out 2 people. Pantoja's, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know if Pantoja's ever been KO'd in his career.
He's never been
I don't
finished.
think. Yeah, I don't think he has. So we got to ask ourselves, what's the path? Do we just think he's going to jab him up for 5 rounds? Is he going to avoid the takedown from Pantoja? I can't see that.
Well, he's
So,
a wrestling background himself.
but do we think it's as good as Pantoja in Brazil?
Probably not. I think a lot of people are riding a little high on the Matt Schnell knockout. Like that was a.
Yeah,
I know he was
yeah.
a knockout guy, but I knew the knockout was going to be there. I gave it on the show whenever we were breaking down that fight. I was pretty confident in the round 2 KO. I called it.
What I'll tell you what gives me pause, and that's that Pantoja gas tank. I think he can go hard for 5 rounds. You guys have seen it, but he always looks like he's gonna death gas in about round 3,
It's
and then yeah, it's weird because then he comes out of the water like the Kraken, in round 4 and 5, and he's all of a sudden good. And I don't know where it comes from, but he does. It gives me pause that. Do we really think he can go 5 really hard rounds if Erceg is giving him a fight? So I don't know. I'll probably make a decision on Friday on this one, but the option there is to not play it either, like I always say. But what's the fun in that, right?
like I said, it sounds like you want to sprinkle the split prop a little bit, buddy. So like that's where you're getting towards.
Well, I do think it'll be a lot closer than we think. I like Astro Boy. He's goofy as fuck
How the
looking,
hell
but I like him.
a lot closer than we think? You obviously think it's gonna be close, bro. I'm just fucking with you, in Fuego.
I don't know, man. Wait till Friday.
Nah, I'm taking Steve Erceg. Man, there was Steve had movies come out years ago about this fight. He's training right now. He's running through the streets of Philadelphia, in hand wraps with a red head bandana on. He's training with his friend Apollo on the beach. I think I heard he's going to go to Russia and train out in a cabin for a little while or something. Like, I don't know. There's movies about this, man. Steve Erceg's about to put it to Pantoja. I'm just clowning, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, you get the reference. I think, I'll be honest, I'm very impressed by Erceg's camp. Erceg as a person, meaning like his dedication, where he's at. I do think he is the legit underdog here, but I actually think, and I know this is going to sound crazy, I think we will see Pantoja's grit matched. I think we will see someone that can take it the way Pantoja can give it. I think this is going to end up being a real dogfight. And I think by the end of this fight, a lot of us that don't probably are going to like Steve Erceg. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. Fucking Pantoja puts him away in 30 seconds. But I've been following Steve a little bit, and all the footage I could find. I started looking this one up a little earlier than normal because it's a pay-per-view card. So I don't know, man. Maybe I fell for it, when it comes to Erceg. But man, I think that it goes the distance. I agree with that. And I think it's a split. I think it's a bloody war, and I'm taking fucking Erceg. That's just how I feel. I think Pantoja will be live for the takedown. I think Erceg will be live for the takedowns too. I don't see either guy maintain a lot of control time, and I don't think either guy is finished.
Joe, do you think Erceg's corner would give Erceg the advice to take Pantoja down?
Yes, right away if he can.
You do?
Right away.
Do you think that would be the game plan?
I don't think that would be the game plan for 5 rounds. I think
but if he sees the opening to do it
in the first 2, absolutely.
You think they have that? I'm being a devil's advocate. I'm being a little bitch for you.
I'm saying really though, if you're looking at that as a possible game plan, bro.
You think they have that much confidence in the ground game against Pantoja that's what they would do?
I would say.
I'm just curious because that's an interesting way to look at it.
Go ahead, Yurko.
Yeah, get it, Yurko. I got it after you. Okay, can I go? I'll go quick. Can you go here?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think honestly, I'm a fan of Erceg. You're not gonna lie. He's been doing well. Like he's only been in the UFC for 3, 4 fights, and they all came short notice. My narrative is that the UFC hates him, and then they want him to lose, but somehow he's gonna win.
So I'm gonna use one of Trace's little sayings because I don't understand the huge appeal. I think Erceg's a good fighter. I just don't feel like we've seen anywhere close to enough of what we need to confidently say, yeah, dude, this guy's just going to go out there and fucking bust through Pantoja.
Andrew.
Go ahead.
Andrew, my bad. The only thing I would say, look, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you on that. I don't think what these people, I don't think they're saying for him to take down Pantoja is the right move, in the first rounds, because he's never gone a whole plethora of rounds the way Pantoja's gone. But hey, this fucking division is just so much up in the air, and it's just so funky to all of us, and it has been for a while, right? It's a little tough to say, but I don't see Erceg being able to really take him down and just play with him in the way that they're thinking, because He's gonna tire out. He's not gonna go down there with somebody who could clearly submit him or play around on the ground with him, and then be able to stand up later in the rounds and fight in that fourth or fifth round. That's why I think Pantoja will walk away with it. But this weight division is just it's something that we've never really been able to hit on 100%, and I'm 100% sure you guys haven't been able to do so as well.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even like talking about like this touted prospect that everyone was just like super fucking excited to see come into the UFC. Like this guy was a last minute replacement fight against David Dvorak the week of the fight. You know what I mean? Like this was a last minute replacement. We kind of just found like a little bit of a gem, right? But I'm going to use Trace's little saying. I feel like everyone's just falling in love with the shiny new toy. You know what I mean? I'm not discrediting him all. I think he's a very good fighter. I just don't think we've seen enough for people to just confidently be like, yep, he's going to walk through this guy. I don't see it, bro. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I think Pantoja is nothing to fuck with.
Fair enough. Fair fucking enough, that's for sure. If nobody else has got anything, we can
Yep.
close the car out.
Right, Joe. I gotta get out of here, man. I had a good time with the space. Good luck on the rest of stuff. Hot topics. Good luck, guys. CapMMA.com. Have a good night, guys. Good luck on your bets this weekend.
Have a good night, buddy.
Have a good one. Andrew, all we got left is fight announcements. What you got?
I don't have any big ones per se. Not really. Maybe a couple talking ones. We'll start it off. We do have a co-main event for UFC St. Louis. The man has been talking and crying about it on social media. He got his wish, guys. Joaquim Buckley is going to be the hometown favorite. He's going to be taking on Nursultan Ruzabev. What do you think about that one?
I don't know. I favor probably Buckley by decision. Probably the stronger fighter, but I'm gonna have to look at it. I'm not really high on Buckley like a lot of people are, if I'm being 100% honest. I think that he got that kick and he became a little overrated. But this seems like a good spot for him. It seems like a fight he really wanted. Guys that really want fights, it usually speaks that they see something or that they feel the reason why they can beat a guy. We see a lot of fights turned down or delayed or have to get negotiated and renegotiated. But I'm not huge. I'm not a huge Buckley guy, but I think I probably favor him at this point. Yeah, I'm not excited about it though.
I just think it's funny because he went down to welterweight so he could stop facing these huge motherfuckers. And now he takes on Ruzabev, who's kind of like a huge motherfucker.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, off the top of my head, how good of a grappler, like against a cage grappler, is Ruzabev? Because if he's a real good against a cage grappler, that could be a problem for Buckley. And I can't. I'll be honest, I'm having a problem picturing Ruzabev fighting in my head right now. I can picture him. I know who he is, but I just can't. I can't picture him fighting right now.
He dusted through someone in his debut. I just don't fucking remember who it is right now off the top.
Yeah, but we haven't seen a whole bunch from him anyway.
Yeah, and that's very true. Very true.
Yeah, you got to favor Buckley here, to be honest. What else?
We have the next week, UFC Vegas 92. Oh, Yurko, you got something, bro?
I would probably say this. I was on a different on a different like a blog space before, and we're breaking down like the card is coming up like just how we're doing right now, 301. And the way we would do it, like us talking about the fights that are coming up, right? If we were to break down, let's say the main card, which is just five fights, from 1 to 5 each fights, like what score will we give it? Let's say right now, and then when we're actually at the fight night, watching the fights together, when we were to redo it, would it change? Would it be different?
I don't understand what you're saying. If I'm being honest,
I would just say, look, we have 5 fights on the main card at 301, right?
right?
Right. Let's say every single fight of those, like, let's say we're giving from 1 to 5 stars. Like, just guessing right now as to what we've done, which is break down the fights and look at what this guy does, what this guy would do. If we were able to break it down right now and then redo it when it was the fight night and we've seen it all together, like, would it be different?
But what does the star rating represent? Like the quality of the fight you think it's going to be?
Yeah, exactly. That we would think it would be.
Oh, okay. No, I've never done that, to be honest.
I personally think this card's very underrated, and I think we're going to see some freaking fireworks.
It's a good
Exactly.
I just
Exactly.
don't know
That's
how
why.
excited I am to see fucking 40-year-old Derek Lewis headline another card.
Well, he might pull off his shorts and throw him in the crowd, and who knows?
Right, he would probably stand up and say he still wants to have sex with Ronda Rousey. You know,
That would be funny. That would be funny. We're going to go on to the next week, UFC Vegas 92, May 18th. Just a quick one. Haley Cowan is now out. Sorry, Will. So Tamiris Vidal will now be taking on Melissa Gatto. I know, right? We're going to move on. 2 weeks after that, UFC 302 on June 1st. Sumu Darji is out of his fight with Joshua Van. So, stepping in, and this is actually surprising because this man never fights short notice. He gets setup fights. Stepping in to take on Joshua Van will be Tatsuro Taira. That is fucking interesting, man.
That's a super awesome fight.
I think so, bro.
But wait a minute. Why was he a fade when he was going to fight Makayev? But fighting Tatsuro, he's not a fade. Why?
Say that one more time.
You've seen the way Makayev has looked. He's looked like dung. You know?
No,
Makayev.
Everybody was talking about how Van's a big, huge fade when he was supposed to fight Makayev, is what I'm saying.
Oh, that Van was a fade?
Yeah, and now that he's fighting,
yeah, that's not my opinion.
Tatsuro Taira, he's good. Wait the fucking minute. What happened?
No, that's not my opinion.
Wait, Van was supposed to fight Makayev?
Makayev was calling Van out, and everybody was talking shit because saying that Van is a fucking fade and that Makayev was basically calling out a shitty fighter. That's what they were saying.
Nah, Van, he's been cashed every time I bet on him the last 4 times.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying he's a fucking. I was just pointing out that he got a lot of hate. Makayev got a lot of hate on social media for saying he would fight him. Just pointing it out. I wasn't really defending it or anything. Andrew, what you got next, bro?
Next, we're going on to UFC Louisville, June 8th. I'm sure everyone can shut the hell up and quit crying because it's not going to be an Apex card. It will be in Louisville. So I expect every single person who hates Apex cards to go to this Louisville fight. We have Andrea Lee taking on Montana De La Rosa. That is a card filler, and that's a free over.
Freest over of your fucking life right there, boy. If you miss that one, you fucked up. You fucked up if you don't get that one.
Same card. We have, if you want to call it like a re-return, Dominic Reyes is coming back, and he's going to be taking on the Hanyak, Dustin Jacoby. That's kind of a fun fight.
Who's returning?
Dominic Reyes.
Jacoby might kill that man.
He might. He very well might.
Bro, Jacoby all fucking day.
I like me some Dustin Jacoby. He is nice. He is slick with it, with the kickboxing. And I actually just met him at the PFL event a couple weeks ago. He was a cool ass dude, bro.
Is he negotiating? What's he doing over there?
No. Oh, he was in the corner for who was it? He was in someone's corner. I don't remember.
All right.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yep. Same card. We have another fight. Another 40-year-old fighting. We have Jared Cannonier taking on Nasruddin Imavov.
That's a good fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, that's a great fight.
I think it's okay. The one thing I don't want to hear is I don't want to hear more people campaigning for Jared Cannonier to get a title shot. You can't do it, bro. Doesn't make any sense.
Man, I thought Cannonier was supposed to fight somebody else. I can't remember who right now. It's
Vittori, I think.
I thought he was supposed to fight somebody else. I could be wrong.
He hasn't done anything like impressive since he lost to Izzy.
Yeah, and I like Jared. I'm actually a fan of his, but I'm not giving you any grief for what you are saying.
Yeah, I like Jared. Like, I think he's a good fighter, but in the interest of business, I do not want to see a 40-year-old fighting for a title. It doesn't make sense. If he was like burning through these dudes and he's just like the bona fide contender, okay, I get that, but that's not the case.
Yeah, I understand totally. I get it. I don't disagree.
And this is an interesting fight matchup.
He had his late career shot, is how I would say I feel about it.
He what?
He had his late career shot, and it didn't work out for him. He had his path to the title over the past few years, and it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame him. He's had a great career. He started out at heavyweight. He was massive. He was like 240 pounds. And then he got his shit together and dropped down to light heavyweight. And then he eventually made his way down to middleweight. And now he looks like he's built in a lab. He's got some nice wins. He fought for a title. He fought one of the best middleweight fighters the UFC has ever seen. Yeah, man, he made a late career run. I'm happy for him. He's a good fighter. I just don't want him anywhere near a title anymore. That's all.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you 100%. What else?
We will go to the next week, UFC Vegas 93. That'll be June 15th. Miles Johns will be taking on Douglas Silva de Andrade. I'm sorry.
I like Miles John. He's all right. Yeah, that's what I'll say about that. I like Miles John. He's all right. I won't say I'm excited about the fight, though.
Yeah, I don't know if I can ever say I'm excited for a Miles Johns fight, but I'll always watch a Miles Johns fight for sure. Same card, just announced today, actually, if not yesterday. Alex Perez is having another quick turnaround. He's going to be taking on Tagir Ulanbekov. I've got to say, man, I've been
gonna make a man out of me, bro.
I've been one person to talk a bunch of shit about Alex Perez because this man just does not know how to make his way into a cage anymore. But he's turned it around, man. This is going to be like his third fight in like 3 months or some shit. Like, that's insane. Good for him, man. I'm happy for him. He seems to really gotten his shit together. I think he's going to I think if he wins this fight against Ulanbekov, he's probably going to get a title shot. I did think it was interesting that they placed him 5th in the rankings over Makaev, even though he just lost to him recently, which tells me that they purposely put him in the top 5 so they can say, yeah, he's a top 5 fighter. So that way, if he does beat Ulanbekov, I think he gets a title shot.
Do you really?
If he wins. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Man, maybe one more, though. Maybe one more, and then he could get a title shot.
Maybe. I mean, it also depends on what Kop's going to do, because I know he just pulled out of his fight. I don't think who is it? Kai hasn't. I don't even think he has a fight scheduled at all. So I don't know. I feel like the flyweight division's wide open. I mean, I think it is, because you can tell by the fucking main event this Saturday, it's wide open. You got guys that are ranked 10th getting title fights. So
yeah, that's not even really a question. 100%. Like, you know, that for sure.
Better go ahead, bro.
Better times, you're muted.
Yeah, my bad. I just got on. Y'all, what are y'all talking about? The flyweight?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alex Perez and Ulanbekov.
Oh, come on, man. Ulanbekov is going to win that.
You think he's gonna wrestle him? Out wrestle him?
Dude, it's not even that. It's just, I think he's going to submit him.
Oh shit. I mean, Alex does like to put his head in bad positions, so.
Yeah, you think how easy he fell for that guillotine. Like, that. Yeah, Ulanbekov is just the real deal when it comes to that. And that Tim Elliott fight was like really, I think he let the cheating get to him, and that's why he lost that fight. He wasn't focused. But Ulanbekov's the real deal. I don't think Perez is going to get by him. I will say I was impressed with how he set Nikolai up for that knockout. That was an impressive combo that he set up. But I mean, with his consistent performance, I don't see how he's more skilled than Ulanbekov.
Totally fair. I think it'll be a fun fight. We're going to move on to UFC 303 International Fight Week. That'll be June 29th. Ricky Simone, he's going to be taking on a newcomer. I think he only has one UFC fight under his belt. Vinicius Oliveira. What do we think? A lot of people think Oliveira is just going to fucking run through Simone.
I don't think that Simone is the type of guy you can run through.
What's the line on that fight?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Do we know the line yet?
Simone minus 200.
You better get in on that now,
crazy.
man. That price is going to jump up, man. Simone is the best.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I don't know how anybody could think.
He is
Yeah.
Simone minus 200.
No, I was just guessing, Joe.
I was about to say, man, I'll drop 2,000 on him right now.
No, I don't know what it is. It's probably higher, but I'm just playing odds maker.
That's fair. I'm not mad at you. I thought, man, you had me though.
Well, no, I'll tell you what I think it should be. I think Simone's gonna destroy that kid. I think the line should be 250 to minus 300, but I don't think it will be that.
I think 250 is probably where it gets lined, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
I think that's probably fair. Andrew, what else you got? Ooh, dead picks. On the mic. I ain't heard this man talk. Where'd he go? Is he on? Damn, you approved that fast as fuck, Andrew.
That's what I do.
No, yeah, I mean, shit. If you want me on the mic, then just so you know, CapMMA.com, CapMMA on YouTube. Follow us, subscribe. You know, if you fuck with us, if you enjoy what we're doing, you know, show a little support. You know, any little like, any little comment, it's all appreciated. You know, we're just doing this for the people. It's all, a passion project of love. So, yeah, it's just, shout out to Joe, shout out to Andrew, shout out to Trace, big shout out to Trace, and for sure, shout out to Usman. This boy's putting a lot of work, so.
Fucking no show.
I was about to say, man, speaking of Usman, does this fucker know that dealerships aren't open this late?
He bought a Tesla. He's driving around in it and shit, but he's not driving him around. The fuck out of here.
Oh, man. He's going to listen back to this and he'll be like, those fucks.
I'm gonna clip this and send it to him. I'm writing the timestamp down right now on that fucking channel.
Also, shouts out to the boys that are here, that always show up. Better Times, Cade and Fuego, Zaza, Connor J, fucking love you guys. So,
bro, Henry Cringe has been with us for a long
for sure.
time.
Oh yeah,
bro.
Henry, I see Henry in the corner. Yeah,
bro, and everybody here, bro. Cool Dandy showed up as soon as the spot opened today, bro. It was immediate. So, good looks, man. Andrew, what else you got? Oh wait,
just two more, nothing too big.
Dead?
Huh?
Were you about to get at the fight, Dead Picks?
No. I just, what do you call it? I just wanted to get back on the mic because my phone tweaked out. I just wanted, in case some shit popped off, I wanted to be able to speak.
Shameless plug. Let's go, Andrew.
Yeah, he wanted to make sure he's on the speaker, so when you tell him some shit about the YouTube page, he'll be able to respond. We're going to UFC event on July 13th. It is to be determined. We have the Canadian Mike Malott returning after his first loss, but I think he'll turn around. He's going to be taking on Gilbert Urbina. another tough guy. I think he's like the 8th Urbina brother to fight in the UFC. Yeah.
He's not it,
All
bro.
right. Huh?
I said Urbina's not it, bro. He's gonna get murked. He will get murked by Mike Malott.
Yeah, I definitely think so, for sure.
I don't know.
I just can't get out. I can't get out of my mind Neil Magny resting his junk on Malott's chin at the end of that fight and beating the fuck out of him for like 3 minutes, and that man couldn't even get off the ground.
Ruined everybody's parlay.
Dude,
let,
I
let
honestly
me
think
forget.
he just made a
Let me
mistake.
remind you. In Canada, what a bum.
Dude, I think that just came down to a small mistake. I think when he was trying to take him down, he just ended up in a bad position. And with a big dude like Magny on you, and as tired as he probably was from all that energy, bro, it was just a recipe for disaster based on one mistake.
Better, I'm with you, but I think his mistake was not doing enough road work because he was exhausted.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
got
he was.
gassed out in the third.
I mean, he just had to survive 10 more seconds or something to win the fight. He was up 2-1 or 2-0.
Yeah, but he was fighting a dog, a vet who's been around for a while. He did fight Neil Magny. I don't think Gilbert Urbina is anywhere near that. So I do see your point, but I just think that
Andrew, I'm just messing with you. I do too, but God, that was a bad look.
Did y'all see how many
yeah,
people
I mean,
were
and
on
that's
Greenland last time?
huh?
I said, did y'all see how many people, a lot of people were on Urbina when he was fighting Charles Radke. It blew my fucking mind that anyone thought he was going to win that fight.
He's a tough guy, so he has that natural bias to him.
Yeah, he's like a fighter that's like, it's hard to kind of like judge his fighting. Like, you never know when he's going to win or lose, kind of.
Has he won in the UFC?
Well, plus he's also got that name. He's got that name, I'm telling you. He's like one of 20 fucking Urbina brothers to fight in the UFC.
Bro, I do when I do the tape study, man, he seems like he's got basics, good basics, but he doesn't know how to put together everything he has. It's almost like man, I forgot the dude's name. Just forget I even said he's almost like whatever.
All right. I have one more fight announcement. It'll be UFC 304. It'll be July 27th. We have Nathaniel Wood taking on Daniel Pineda. This is interesting. Daniel Pineda has been in 43 career MMA fights, and only until his last fight against Caceres was his first fight going to a decision. Dude, this is an underfight. This fight's
Andrew,
going
what date is that fight?
July 27th.
Wasn't it just Nathaniel Wood? Didn't he just have a kid? Didn't he just have a baby? Well, not him, obviously, but
I actually don't know. That's a good question.
yeah, our rest in peace to his sleep if that was him. And we might see the dad bod from Nathaniel Wood, so we might be on the dog.
I don't know about that, but that is a good matchup.
I'm just messing around, better time.
Yeah, it's two guys who definitely like to go at it. I mean, you guys know me. I don't bet unders. I can't do it. I'm a bitch about it. But if I am going to bet an under, this is the fight to do it, man. That's all Pineda does. He either finishes someone or gets finished. That's just how it is, man. He's that fighter. He's done it over 42 fights. Like, if that's not enough credibility, I don't know what is. But that's all I got, guys. That's all I have for the fight announcements. Nothing too big this week.
Fair. I got a few call outs and a few fight announcements. A few contract signings, I guess. Anthony Hernandez out with Roman Dolidez. Caitlin Vieira says she was offered 303 against Kayla Harrison, and Kayla Harrison won't sign. Caitlin thinks Kayla is ducking her in hopes of being offered a, quote, easier opponent. I don't know. I don't know if Kayla's scared of Vieira.
Joe. I feel like you did that shit on purpose.
Did what on purpose?
Don't go there, bro.
I'm saying I think Ketlin's reaching, bro. Like, I don't think Kayla Harrison is afraid of you.
Yeah, dude, she's just trying to get her name out there, and I don't blame her. Like, A for effort, but get the fuck out of here, man.
Yeah, that's how I feel. Like, okay. There were some talks of MVP and Wonder Boy fighting. I think Wonder Boy thought it would be a great fight, karate style. MVP don't want to fight. He says it would be boring for fans, and nobody wants to see it. He didn't say those exact words, but that's what he said.
So I've actually watched that interview, and he makes sense. He's basically saying you've got two guys who are very similar in style, and he says what it's probably going to be is it's going to turn into a chess match. And if you know a guy in the middleweight division, he's one of the best middleweight fighters of all time, Izzy Adesanya. That's what he did. He gets in a lot of chess matches, and what do people think about his fights? They think he's boring.
That's what they think. They think he sucks.
So that's what I'm saying.
But he's not exciting to watch. That, like, I don't mean to say he sucks as a fighter. He sucks to watch. Izzy is typically not exciting. You're completely correct there, Andrew.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like that's why he thinks it won't be an interesting fight is because their styles are so similar. It's going to be a chess match. Neither one of them's really going to go for it. Plus, he did say he really likes and respects Steven. He's really nice. So I just don't think, he's not afraid of him. I just don't think
at all.
It's a fight he prefers.
I think I think he's correct. If I wanted to watch them in a karate match, then I would watch a karate match because them two fighting each other is a karate match. If nobody thinks that, they both have said it. So, I'm going to let them tell me what's what. And I'm not interested in watching it. It's not going to be fun with an MMA referee and no points. It'll be 15 minutes of come the fuck on. So I agree. Dan Hooker wants to fight Beneil Dariush at 303. He seems to be campaigning pretty hard for it. I got no issue with that fight. I think that's a pretty good fight.
I thought I read that Dariush is having some real medical problems with fighting. Did I read that wrong?
No, he had medical problems.
Oh, I thought he has them now. I'm sorry.
So I got it right. That's why he was out for so long, is what they were saying. He took some blows. He took some blows to the head and shit. I thought I understood it as that he is ready to fight now. I could be wrong, but because I didn't save the article and I have a lot of the links here. But I'm pretty sure of that. I'm pretty sure he's ready to fight. Leon's coach is Connor J here. Man, I've been waiting all day for him. Leon's coach recently said he is 99% certain that Bilal is next because they haven't heard about anybody else. So, congratulations to Connor J. I'm happy for you, and I'll probably congratulate you on 304 fight day too, man.
Hey Joe, are we really going to stay awake? Are the fans going to be awake at 5:30 in the morning to watch Leon Edwards fight Bilal Muhammad? If you guys are watching that fight, man, we are the diehard MMA fans.
So I think that it gets adjusted some, but no way with what Tom Aspinall is calling for. Just no way, in my opinion. It's like the UFC is in the market of pay-per-views. 304 is a pay-per-view. The local market to the arena, meaning Manchester and surrounding, do not pay for pay-per-views. The U.S. market does. I hate that the UFC doesn't view day cards as profitable, though, because I think day cards are absolutely badass, and I wish they would do more of them. I used to love Sunday morning fights, Sunday morning cards. So I think maybe they just think people won't buy it.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Is day cards are fun. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they sell nearly enough as the primetime ones do.
They might in the winter though, but not in fucking middle of summer, bro. Just
Yeah,
no
dude.
way.
How many people do you think are really buying a fight at 11 in the morning? You know what I mean?
Especially for Leon Edwards and Bilal Muhammad. You're going to have to pay people to watch that.
Well, Aspinall's on. Aspinall's on. We know as a problem.
Dude, give Islam the title shot instead.
Oh shit! Connor J's about to come on here and shoot fucking laser beams through his phone at you.
So I don't think that one is actually official. I'm pretty sure it's like 95% sure, but
9.9% is what they said.
yeah.
So what we're going to get is Molly McCann and Patty and who's the black wolf or whatever his name is, Black Country Banger. We're going to see him get knocked out.
And
so we're going to see the same damn card we always see in England.
And Leon Edwards versus the first guy that's not Bilal Muhammad that will take the fight. Here he comes. He's about to whoop your ass.
I'm ready.
Here we go.
I'm waiting. He's about to, what the fuck? Connor J, welcome to the microphone tonight, brother. He's not expressing yet. I think he's loading the gun.
He's probably writing the shit down.
Islam, speaking of Islam says with another win at 155, he would like to fight Max Holloway. So,
wait, who?
Islam.
He wants Max?
Why would the UFC make that fight when it has
Max can get another W? He thinks that would be a good fight to make.
I don't want to see Max.
Well, the only fight to watch is it's going to be Holloway versus Topuria. So, I mean, that's the obvious pick.
Yeah, I mean,
except Topuria wants the easier fight in Ortega.
He does actually. He's on the list here, and he actually does. We can roll right over to that one.
What would you line that fight at, Joe? Topuria, Ortega?
Topuria minus
350.
280 was going to be my minus 280, but
yeah, I was gonna say 260.
Yeah, he beats the shit out of Brian Ortega, in my opinion. Topuria does want that fight, and he also seems to already be planning UFC Spain. But now they're saying that's just not going down to 2025. And spite him saying in an interview that he would rather have Brian Ortega, Max Holloway says he's DMing him about it. And Max says, this dude writes me paragraphs longer than my wife. I don't even read it. He said, I'm not reading it. It's too much. He won't stop. I'm not reading it. So I was just like, all right, that's what Max says. So we'll see. Here's what I think, to tell you the truth. Ilya is a star in his own country. Ilya will sell the fuck out of someplace. If he has a big showing, he'll need a little card assistance. You guys know what I mean by that. And if he has a big showing, he can sell out again in his home country. But yeah, he's going to have to perform and do it well for his crowd and get them to follow him. And like, he's not where he thinks he is yet. But hey, maybe that's the delusion that gets you there. I don't know. So, Dominic Cruz says he's not retired. He wants a rematch with Vera or Cejudo. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't want Dominic.
Did you guys like how Dominic Cruz during that last card told Daniel Cormier on the mic to do better research?
Yeah. Did you see how Daniel fucking laughed at him? Because you know that's like the joke. Because he told fucking Bisping to do that, right?
Yeah, it was awesome. He just flat out said, you need to do better work.
Yeah, but it's kind of a joke because that's why Bisping doesn't like him, because he did it to Bisping. He told Bisping to do more work, and Bisping has said on his podcast, like, I break down fucking everything because
Yeah, but I feel like DC gets that because, the other DC set his ass straight. Dominic Cruz.
Oh,
It's
Jesus.
because Cruz is so detailed, bro. Like, he is just like a MMA encyclopedia.
Yeah, you don't remember that shit, Joe?
I do.
He called Cormier out, and then Cormier, you know what he did? He said, fuck this. We're about to put this conversation on YouTube and make money off this shit.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I'm not a huge Cruz fan, but I know
That
a
shit
lot
was so dramatic, bro. It was like when LeBron was doing his little fucking announcement in 2010. I'm just sitting there watching this shit like, bro, this is for divas, man. I can't believe this is a recording.
So I was gonna roll into Aldo says Cruz was his 301 opponent. Aldo's wants to box on the Paul Tyson card, which we already talked about. I was going to note that I think that really could happen because if the UFC will let him, Jake Paul's signing that shit. And then the side note on that was going to be that the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight was sanctioned for full combat, 8 2-minute rounds. 2-minute round fucking loophole coming through again. Let's go, boys. That's all I can say. They're getting everything sanctioned 2-minute rounds. Like, they're like, fuck it. You want a midget to fight the big show? 2-minute rounds. It's only 2-minute rounds. If it's any more than that, we're not fucking sanctioning it. But if it's 2-minute rounds, let's do it. That's how these YouTubers started getting their shit. Like, I'm gonna credit them. I know they didn't make it up, but if I recall, that was how Jake Paul started getting his shit sanctioned. Am I wrong? And they're pro bouts. They're still pro fucking bouts.
Hey, I actually wasn't here for that. Who did everyone pick between Aldo and Martinez?
Aldo.
Yes, I'm a big Aldo fan. That's why I want to go with this.
Who do you got better times?
Bro, dude, I'm Aldo all the way. I'm a super fan of Jose Aldo. He's the reason I'm such a big MMA fan. But you got to put your fandom aside when it comes to making money, and I still got Aldo. Mainly because his boxing, bro. Since he moved down to bantamweight, he's been showing off his boxing and his boxing defense. Bro, Martinez is all offense, no defense. Aldo is gonna catch him, and those leg kicks are gonna matter, and that high kick is gonna matter. He's not gonna be able to catch him with the kicks. The straight left, maybe, but he has to time it. But other than that, bro, I think Aldo has him covered everywhere. And I had to break it down twice, man. I went over this fight in detail just to be sure that I'm not fanning out.
I'm with you. Oh, I ain't mad at you because I'm with you on that one. Bobby Green called out Paddy Pimblett, wants him on 304. That's a banger. Bobby Green definitely rivals Paddy Pimblett's star power with fans and sell power. Renato Moicano's also been calling for the Paddy fight, and Paddy seems to want the Renato fight. I would assume that is because Renato is going to put him in contention. A win over Renato is going to put him in contention, or at least way further into contention than a win over Bobby is. And I think Bobby beats the fucking brakes off of Paddy Pimblett. I just think that's a horrible fucking matchup for Paddy. I think Bobby really beats the shit out of him. Hands down style, just fucking punching him in the face. Just how I feel. I don't know. Paddy's hair gives you such a visual, that you're not sure how bad he's getting beat up. You always look back and remember him getting punched in the face a whole bunch of times. But I think Paddy's going to be on that 304 card. and I think it's going to be Bobby Green or Renato Moicano. Who would you rather see him fight, Andrew?
Are you talking about Patty?
Yeah, who would you rather see Patty fight, Bobby Green or Renato Moicano?
I mean, I think he gets fucked up by either guy, so I don't think it matters.
Me too. Me too.
Question is, do you want to get boxed the fuck up or do you want to get grappled the fuck up? I guess take your pick.
You want to get punched in the face a lot or butt humped? We don't care. We don't care.
I see, and that's the thing is, I don't think they would actually do either one of those fights because I think Dana knows, man. Dana knows.
I'd rather see Moicano because I want to see him on the mic in England talking shit to all them fans after that ass kicking.
That'd be funny as hell. That would be.
I was gonna say Bobby, but I feel like he'd be a little too respectful. So Fuego kind of swayed me. Let's go with Moicano, if anything.
I want to see the Bobby fight. I like Bobby Green. I'm a fan of him. I'm a fan of his person. I think Bobby's a cool dude. He's a little older. I can relate to Bobby. Probably is why I like that. Fan. Like Better was saying about him and all that. I'm not saying super fan, but just I'm a fan of Bobby Green and his DMX gimmick. I like him. He's all right by me. I bet you that's DMX's vest that he wears. Like he got that shit from DMX. That red one. I don't care, bro. That's probably where that came from. All right, I got one more there, and I saved it for last. I guess too. I was gonna ask Trace why he quit listening to Believe You Me, but he fucking bounced.
I'll tell you why. Cause that show, man, I used to be same thing like Chase. Whenever before Anthony Smith came along, man, I was into the show. Smith came along, man, they lost me. They just lost me. I don't
I
know.
stopped doing it when Lewis left.
Yeah,
It was a good back and forth. I wasn't a huge fan of Lewis, but it was a much better show. I liked it. So yeah. And I didn't think Lewis was wrong for feeling like Bisbeam was pimping him by using his social media. Just like Bisbeam was making it look confusing, using the logos on both, posting exclusive content to his own channel when he's supposed to be building this new Believe You Me channel with Lewis. Like, I don't know. I agreed with Lewis about the whole deal on it. Yeah, and I do still listen sometimes, but not. It usually comes on after something that I'm on, like it auto plays, and I'm busy, so I listen. I don't really turn it on anymore. Melissa Bellick or Bollick, I think it's Bellick, signed a multi-fight deal ahead of her professional fight league debut. She's part of their athlete development program. She's expected to debut this summer. She is 26 years old, 3-1 as an amateur, and has a few kickboxing bouts under her as an amateur too. She trains out of Tiger Schumann Martial Arts, and she hails out of New York, if I recall. I didn't type that, but I'm pretty sure it was New York. This comes just a week or so after them signing what some call a huge like free agent in Paul Hughes. Earlier this month, Hughes, also 26, a former Cage Warrior champion, and PFL is really going to put this guy to the sky here. They're pairing him with a guy that's lost his last two fights by knockout, trying to get back on track June 22nd. So they got a lot of faith in Paul Hughes, and to the fucking moon for him. Yeah. Paige Van Zandt signed I think it's a 5-fight deal with Misfits Boxing. I'm pretty sure it's 5 fights, 5 matches, whatever. I forget the name of the chick she's fighting, but man, Misfits is on to something. You guys should check that fight out. It's coming up.
I was doing all the tape work on Paige Van Zant's opponent. It was Yeah, it took some time. I'll say that.
Oh, I fucking love you for that one, bro. Did you check her OnlyFans though? There's exclusive training footage there, from what I'm told. Did you? If you haven't checked the OnlyFans, you probably need to check some more, bro. You probably need to check some more.
Thanks for the tip.
No doubt. Last two little things. So Khabib Nurmagomedov confirmed that they tried to get him for UFC 300, but he told Ali a year ago, "Do not call me. Do not offer me a fight, and do not entertain a fight in my name." Um, so yeah, but I'm gonna say that meeting that Dana had with Khabib, the 2 or 3 meetings, really was what we all thought it was, and it was Dana trying to get him on 300. Imagine the 30-0, 30-0 on UFC 300. Bro, imagine the promos that shit would have been. It would have been Conor coming off his fucking Roadhouse coke bender for sure. He would have been healthy enough, and Dana wouldn't have cared. Dana, all this shit, Dana's like, oh, you got to make sure it's right time for the kid, Oh, none of that would have mattered. None of that would have mattered. It would have been motherfucking Conor, coked up Conor, and fucking 30-0 Khabib, and that's what it would have been. Yeah. Man, Andrew bounced out. I don't know what happened there. And the last thing I got is O'Malley claims claims that after he fights Merab, he is gonna box Ryan Garcia. Man, I think it's feasible. I'm not. You ain't got a thumbs down me, Connor J.
He'll do what he's told. He'll do what Dana wants him to do.
I believe him. He's been saying that he's been talking to the UFC for a while about boxing Ryan Garcia, and he has not said what he said about the other people. Where he said, when I asked about this guy, they said he doesn't sell. When I asked about this guy, they said he doesn't move the needle. He hasn't said that about Ryan Garcia. He actually says that he keeps hope alive about it. He thinks that it's possible because the UFC has not told him no about Ryan Garcia. He said it's not saying they've told him yes by any means. He's saying they haven't told him no. And let's be honest, in the new way of making money, clicks, views, all this, we don't feel it because we're older. Sean O'Malley and Ryan Garcia move the fucking needle.
Oh, believe me, after Ryan's last performance, it's everyone and their mothers are talking to me about. Did you see the Ryan fight? Did you see the Ryan fight? People that don't even watch boxing. Did you see the Ryan fight?
Yeah.
Even same thing with Sean O'Malley, man. My cousins that could care less for fighting before are now fucking hitting me up like, "Hey, do you got links for that UFC?" I'm like, "This is insane." Like, so yeah, I see it. I definitely see it for sure more than ever. I mean, even my fucking bosses are like, older guys, that don't even have fucking time to be, doing all this shit. They're like, "Hey, you're gonna watch that UFC?" Like, I'm like, "What?" Like, yeah. So I definitely see the effects of these guys for sure. Like, it's especially after that Ryan win, man, and if fucking O'Malley could keep up, with these wins, then God, I could. I'm not saying it can't happen, but fuck, I could.
If O'Malley knocks out Merab, bro, I got kids. My kids are early teenage years, bro. Pre-teens and early teens, right? My kid knows who Ryan Garcia and Sean O'Malley are. And so does every kid in his school. And so does every kid in the high schools where my daughter goes. Like, we don't feel that type of reverberation because we're a little older, but like, them dudes move needles. Not the type of needles that we're like, oh, he sold 1 million pay-per-views. Nah, but his social media footprint is huge for them, and they're making money on that. Yeah, it just, Fuck. It's hard to say that the UFC would do it, but Dana White has let Sean O'Malley. Dana White really seems to like Sean O'Malley and believes that he's a star, and it's. I can't shoot this one down. Is all I'm saying. However,
If they were to
go ahead.
make, I'm sorry. I was just saying, if they were to make him the new Connor, like how everyone was expecting, then this would be, I guess, one of the ways that they could, show it, because they're not letting like their other fucking stars go out there to box. So
No, but if you want to build him up to all the young folks, all the people in their early 20s, teenagers, let him box Ryan Garcia. And if he pulls it off, holy shit. Here's what I will say about that. Let me say it from the rooftops. Let me say it again. In a boxing match, Brian Garcia will beat the motherfucking brakes off of Sean O'Malley.
he kills him first round.
Bro, he will beat. Oh my God. Sean thinks he is ready. He is not ready. He 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 is not ready for Ryan Garcia. And listen, it is true. If Ryan weighed 140 and didn't have all that fucking weight clause where he couldn't hydrate, he beats Tank too, bro. I don't give a fuck. He beats Tank. They did that shit Tank does, him and Mayweather, where they manipulate the contract. I'm a firm believer in all that shit with Tank doing there, bro. Ryan is fucking banger. Connor J.
What's up, y'all?
What's happening?
Yeah, that's the reason why I don't think that the fight's gonna happen. I just think that the UFC or Dana probably knows that if it's gonna be like a squash match between Ryan and Sean, I don't think that the juice is worth the squeeze. Like Conor and Mayweather were the two biggest combat stars in the world by far. So even if Conor was gonna get killed, which he didn't, he put up a pretty decent fight. Like the publicity and the momentum and the attraction that it garnered was worth Conor losing. But Sean's just gonna get fucking killed. And I like Sean, and I think Sean would fucking kill Ryan in MMA. But there's a reason why Ryan's not coming over here. So that's why I don't think the fight's gonna happen.
Oh, I 100% agree with you, bro. As soon as you introduce anything that is not boxing, Sean becomes a minus 1,000, maybe more, immediately. Just add kicks. Just add kicks. Add anything that is not.
Add like 3 kicks per round. That's all Sean gets is 3 kicks per round.
He wins the
Bro, what
fight.
does that go? What does that go past 3 rounds? Maybe.
Yeah, he wins the fight. No
Exactly.
fucking problem. Like, add anything, and Sean has the absolute edge. But if you are only wearing 10-ounce or 12-ounce boxing gloves and you are fighting at 140 pounds, Ryan Garcia is going to, and you are fighting by the Queensberry rules, Ryan Garcia is going to beat the dog fuck out of you. That is not. I'm going to watch. I'm watching. I can't wait. I want to see it. I hope they do it. I'm not lying. But yeah, that's it. And that's the space, man. Ryan, Andrew cut out a little bit ago, about 10 minutes ago. I ain't mad at him. Everybody's got shit going on. He's got kids and stuff too. Yeah, but that's it over here. That's the whole fucking space. That's all we got. Connor J, whatever you got, bro, get after it.
Just want to give a quick shout out to Bilal getting his well-deserved title shot. Hell yeah. Put in the work, beat the guys. Whoever said that Islam should get the next shot, come on now. What are we doing? Let's quit playing games. We already had to suffer through that bozo bum Colby getting a shot. No, the real guy should get it, and that's Bilal. So I hope that fight gets made next. Hell yeah.
So
That's all I got.
I think I know the Connor Chin. We're supposed to close it out right now. We're
Bring it. Let's go. Bring it.
But hold on. I think I know, regardless of what the fucking fighters are saying, I think I know the 303 co-main event. I think I know what it is. I think it's Colby Covington, Ian Gary.
I'd be surprised if Colby takes that. Ian's not old and he's not coming off a losing streak, so I'd be surprised.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I mean, I'm not even going to debate you on that. But the money, and Kobe does do what he's told, and he does admit that. And if you don't have a title fight, bro, just think about the buildup. Colby Covington, Ian Gary, Conor McGregor, the star he is. But, like, let's be honest, like, Conor versus Mike isn't moving any more needles than Conor versus me. It's the same amount of needles.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah,
That's pretty impressive.
what I'm saying is Mike is a star on his own, and he can sell some. But at the level that Conor is selling pay-per-views, Mike is not selling to anybody outside of who is gonna buy the Conor card. There's nobody where it's like, man, I'm gonna buy that card because Mike's on it. Over, I'm gonna buy that card because Conor's on it. Anybody that's buying a Mike card is buying a Conor card. So Mike, outside of a Conor fight, does sell some pay-per-views on his own. But fighting Conor, Mike isn't very relevant to the pay-per-view sales, in my opinion. So, like, I wasn't trying to say, that's all I was trying to say. And I just feel like Conor is the draw there, and everybody tunes in to see Conor at the press conference. If you give them Colby and Ian up there, boy, that shit goes off the hinges real fast. And what card is Sean fighting Paulo on? I'm going to look that up. Conor. Oh, and Fuego.
I want to leave you guys in this space with a non-MMA related question, if I can, Joe. So, my son hit the Durham Bulls game last night, and he took the 9x9x9 challenge. 9 hot dogs and 9 beers in 9 innings. The question is, can any of you guys do it?
No.
It's like a hot dog and a beer, an inning, like each, like one inning.
You can
What the fuck
do
would he
them.
call them hot dogs?
You can do them in whatever order you want. He did 6 hot dogs in the first inning.
Yeah, I could do it.
He's like,
I'm a
yeah, I can
fat
do
boy
it.
at heart.
He's like, yeah.
I was fat when I was young, and I worked hard, to let go of that, those demons, and now I'm a new soul in this new body. But I could for sure relay on that old soul if I had to. That old fat boy could do it.
Conor J, close this space out. You're the last thing we're doing, bro. What you got?
Yeah, I definitely couldn't do that. I'm a lightweight and I don't even drink, so that's for one. And two, I went back and looked at the Conor and Cowboy card because you're bringing up like Colby and Ian, like boosting the Conor and Mike card, just to show like how big of a star Conor is. I'm pretty sure the Cowboy and Conor card sold like over $1 million, 1 point whatever, and the co-main event was Holly Holm and Raquel Pennington. So they like don't give a fuck about Conor cards. They know he's gonna sell no matter what. But having Colby and Ian, like, that's a compelling fight. So it like helps the card, but I don't think they need it. But I'm not mad if they have it on the card. That'd be a cool fight, and I would love to see Colby get fucking his face smashed in.
Yeah, and remember, Cowboy was a Conor fight, but Conor was still thought to be something. Then Conor has not done well. I would say that it's I don't.
What do you think Conor and Mike does? How many pay-per-views?
Probably 1 million.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think that Cowboy and Conor did just under 1 million, but that doesn't really matter. Probably 1 million-ish. I wouldn't be surprised if it's 850. But if they can build up the
it did 1.3. I just looked it
Cowboy
up.
Conor did 1.3.
I looked it up right now.
No,
because I looked up to see the co-main event, and it says buy rate 1.3 mil.
that's badass. But
That's crazy.
that is impressive.
Yeah.
I still think that I still don't think Conor is as big of a sell as he once was, and I think if they could get some guys that are actually going to be controversial leading up to the fight. It would help them with numbers. And it's going to be fight week, which helps. But, like, let's be honest, real fans, none of us care about this fight. You've been telling us about it for, like, 8 years or something, dude. Like, you've been talking about it forever. We watched a TV show with them on it. Conor did a fucking movie release. Like, bro, you have been telling us about this fight for so long. It's not exciting. None of us are excited for it. None of us. Hardcore Conor fans, great. Nobody else is excited for it. Nobody else really even cares. That's what I would say. Hardcore wise, casuals are going to buy. It's going to sell. Hardcore wise, though, I don't think people care. That's it for me, boys. I'm done. I rambled for an extra 15, 20 minutes, but I'm all right with that. Dead Picks, thank you for the tech. Cool. I seen you get in here right away and stick it out. Henry's always here. Connor, love you. Za, love you. Better, I love when you show up, bro. Your takes are always dope. Everybody that was here for hours and everybody who listens, we got some people that keep coming back on YouTube now. I'm gonna port some of our stuff over to Rumble. I know I keep saying it, Rumble and Facebook video. Hey, we can get it out there a little bit. The spaces, even on real shitty cars, man, we're hitting 100, 150 listens in the repeats. Seeing way better numbers than that. 600,000 in the past month. No, in like the past 2 months, some of our cars have seen. So we just got to get it out there, man. I appreciate everybody. CapMMA.com. Listen, it's not me running bullshit. If anybody is still listening that's not in here, tail of the tape is done. I literally am cleaning up a few details. When you go to our site, you will be able to get full tail of the tape from PFL fighters, UFC fighters, one fighters, and you will be able to type somebody's name in and get scorecards, all the scorecards with their names on them. I've got a library of almost 5,000 fucking scorecards. That's not bullshit. Like, legit, almost 5,000 fucking scorecards in library. You type in somebody's name, it pops right up. If you don't know how to spell their first name or last name, just type in any part of their fucking name. It will show up. And then our odds search, it still sucks. I haven't fixed our odds database because I've been building tail of the tape, and I'll get to that shit later.